There's a certain kind of peace people talk about, one that doesn't break under pressure, doesn't waver in the face of chaos, and doesn't need applause to thrive. It's the kind of peace that feels like home, calm, steady, and unshakable. It's not bought, borrowed, or granted by others. It's built from within. And the best part? It's something every single one of us is capable of cultivating, starting right now. Life has a way of pulling us in all directions. Deadlines, relationships, expectations, and setbacks all fight for our attention, leaving little room for clarity. Days blur into weeks, and before long, we find ourselves running on autopilot, reacting, chasing, and worrying. In these moments, it's easy to feel like life is something that's happening to us instead of something we're actively living. But what if things could be different? What if, instead of feeling swept away, you could plant your feet firmly and steer your own course? This isn't about perfection or pretending everything is fine when it isn't. It's about finding a foundation so steady that no storm can shake it. It's about reclaiming the parts of yourself you may have handed over to others. Your confidence, your happiness, your focus. And while the world often tells us to look outward for answers, the truth is, they've been within you all along. Buddhist wisdom offers tools to uncover those answers, gently guiding us back to our center. The beauty of these teachings lies in their simplicity. They don't demand you to be someone else or live a life you can't relate to. Instead, they offer small, meaningful shifts, ways of thinking, being, and doing that create profound change over time. They remind us to pause, breathe, and look inward, not for escape, but for strength. One of the most profound realizations these teachings bring is the power of attention. Where you place your attention shapes your reality. Think about the last time you felt truly at peace. It wasn't because the world stopped moving. It was because, in that moment, you stopped letting it control you. Whether it was a quiet walk, a conversation that warmed your heart, or a simple cup of tea, peace came from what you chose to focus on. That choice, your choice, is what unlocks freedom. But here's the thing, this kind of freedom doesn't mean a life free of challenges. It doesn't mean people will stop testing your patience or that hard days will magically disappear. It means that no matter what comes your way, you'll know how to face it without losing yourself. And isn't that what we all truly want? To meet life head-on, unafraid, and whole. It starts with letting go, not of responsibilities or dreams, but of the things that weigh you down unnecessarily, worries about how others see you, comparisons that steal your joy, desires that leave you restless. Letting go isn't giving up, it's creating space for what really matters. It's understanding that clinging to things outside your control only tightens the grip of stress and disappointment. When you release that grip, you begin to see clearly. You begin to feel lighter. This journey also asks for something many of us avoid: solitude. Not loneliness, but solitude. The kind where you sit with yourself without distractions. In the quiet, you start to hear your own voice again, unclouded by noise and expectations. You reconnect with parts of yourself that got lost in the rush. It's in these moments that clarity arises, not as a shout, but as a gentle whisper reminding you of who you are and what you value. What often keeps us from this clarity is the need for approval, whether it's praise from a boss, validation from a friend, or likes on a screen. We've been conditioned to seek external confirmation of our worth. But here's the truth. No amount of applause can fill the space meant for your own acceptance. The moment you stop chasing approval is the moment you step into freedom. And in that freedom, you find strength. Strength to live authentically. guided not by what others expect, but by what feels true to you. Life, at its core, is a series of choices. Each day, you're given countless opportunities to decide what deserves your energy and what doesn't. This doesn't mean blocking out the world or ignoring its challenges. It means choosing how to respond. Instead of reacting impulsively, you can pause. Instead of clinging to frustration, you can let it pass. These small shifts create ripples, and over time, they transform how you move through life. And yet, none of this is about doing it all perfectly. Buddhism doesn't teach perfection. It teaches presence. It's okay to stumble, to have days where peace feels out of reach. What matters is coming back to the path, again and again. Each return is a step toward a life rooted in balance and clarity. Each return strengthens your ability to navigate life with grace. At the heart of this journey is the realization that you already have what you need. The answers aren't out there. They're here, within you, waiting to be uncovered. It's not about adding more to your life, but removing what doesn't serve you. It's about embracing simplicity, letting go of clutter, both physical and mental, and finding joy in what remains. Contentment doesn't come from having more. It comes from appreciating enough. As you move forward, you'll notice something remarkable. The more you focus on nurturing your inner world, the less the outer world will dictate your happiness. The more you trust yourself, the less you'll need validation from others. And the more you live in alignment with your values, the more meaningful your life becomes. This isn't a quick fix or a one-size-fits-all solution. It's a practice, a way of being that unfolds moment by moment. It's about creating a life where you wake up with purpose, meet challenges with courage, and rest at night with a sense of peace that can't be shaken. And while the journey is deeply personal, it's also universal. The same wisdom that has guided millions before you can guide you too. Every day is a chance to start anew, to take a small step toward a life that feels less rushed, less reactive, and more intentional, to rediscover what truly matters and to let go of what doesn't. The path may not always be easy, but it's always worth it. And along the way, you'll find something far greater than fleeting happiness. You'll find freedom. So, are you ready to take that step? Not for anyone else, but for yourself. When was the last time you felt truly at peace? Not just for a fleeting moment, but deeply and unshakably. In a world brimming with endless noise, both outside and within, finding that kind of serenity can feel impossible. The constant pull of external influences, from expectations to distractions, leaves little room for stillness. But there's something extraordinary about those who seem untouchable by the chaos. They're calm, like an anchor in a storm. This isn't a gift reserved for a select few. It's a practice, an art, and something we can all learn to master. Let's explore how to cultivate that inner sanctuary by understanding the wisdom behind letting go of what doesn't belong to us. It's about untangling ourselves from the grip of external forces and learning to thrive from a place of balance, no matter what life throws our way. The first step in mastering inner peace is to recognize the source of unrest. So much of the turbulence in life comes not from the events themselves, but from how we respond to them. External influences are everywhere: opinions, circumstances, material desires, and even societal norms. These forces shape how we think, act, and feel, often without us realizing it. The more we let them dictate our emotions, the more we give away our power. But understanding this is liberating, because it shows that peace is not about changing the world. It's about changing how we interact with it. Letting go of external influences starts with awareness. Each day, we face countless moments where we feel pulled in directions we don't want to go. A comment from a colleague might linger in your mind, souring your mood. A piece of news might stir frustration, anger, or fear. These reactions are automatic, but they don't have to control you. By becoming aware of these triggers, you create a pause, a space between what happens and how you respond. In that space lies your freedom. Cultivating this awareness requires mindfulness. This doesn't mean withdrawing from the world or ignoring what happens around you. Instead, it's about observing without attachment. Mindfulness teaches you to see things as they are, without immediately labeling them as good or bad. When you can sit with your emotions, thoughts, and surroundings without judgment, you stop feeding the cycle of reactivity. You begin to realize that much of what disturbs you comes not from the situation itself, but from the meaning you assign to it. Part of this process involves identifying the stories you tell yourself. A missed call becomes a sign of neglect. A passing comment turns into criticism. A slow driver is an intentional obstacle in your day. These narratives, born from our interpretations, create unnecessary suffering. By letting go of these stories, you release the hold that external influences have on your peace. Another crucial aspect is detaching from outcomes. We live in a world that measures success by results, grades, promotions, likes, applause. This attachment to outcomes creates pressure and disappointment. True peace comes when you can do your best and release the need for control over what follows. This isn't about apathy. It's about recognizing that while your actions matter, you cannot control every result. Detachment frees you to focus on the process, allowing joy and growth to flourish regardless of the outcome. Letting go also means accepting that you cannot control others. People will have opinions, make choices, and act in ways that may not align with your preferences. Holding on to the need to change them creates frustration and conflict. Instead, focus on what you can control, your own thoughts, words, and actions. This shift not only reduces stress, but also empowers you to live authentically, unaffected by the judgments or expectations of others. A significant barrier to inner peace is the weight of resentment. Holding on to past hurts binds you to the very things you want to be free from. Forgiveness, though challenging, is a gift you give yourself. It doesn't mean condoning what happened. It means releasing the power it holds over you. When you forgive, you break the chains of bitterness, creating space for peace to grow. The role of gratitude cannot be overstated. When you shift your focus from what's wrong to what's right, you transform your perspective. Gratitude grounds you in the present and reminds you of the abundance in your life. It doesn't ignore challenges but reframes them, helping you see opportunities for growth and resilience. A daily gratitude practice, even as simple as reflecting on one thing you're thankful for, can anchor you in positivity and inner calm. Boundaries are another essential tool. Without them, external influences seep into every corner of your life. Setting boundaries doesn't mean shutting people out. It means protecting your energy and prioritizing your well-being. It's okay to say no, to step away from situations that drain you, and to advocate for your needs. Boundaries create a buffer, allowing you to engage with the world on your terms. Another aspect of letting go is understanding impermanence. Everything changes: people, circumstances, and even emotions. Clinging to what is temporary only leads to disappointment. Embracing impermanence doesn't mean detachment from life. It means appreciating each moment fully, knowing it won't last forever. This perspective helps you navigate loss and change with grace, finding peace in the ebb and flow of life. Simplicity plays a profound role in cultivating peace. The more we accumulate, whether it's possessions, commitments, or worries, the more burdened we become. Simplifying your life creates room for what truly matters. This isn't about giving up everything, but about choosing what aligns with your values and letting go of what doesn't. Simplification is not a loss. It's a gain of clarity, freedom, and focus. To sustain this practice, create rituals that ground you. Whether it's a few minutes of meditation, a walk in nature, or simply pausing to breathe, these habits remind you to return to your center. They serve as anchors in a busy world, helping you maintain a sense of balance and calm. Compassion for yourself and others is the glue that holds everything together. Letting go is not always easy. There will be days when the noise feels overwhelming, when you fall back into old patterns or let external influences take hold. In those moments, treat yourself with kindness. Recognize that growth is a journey, not a destination. Extend the same compassion to others, understanding that everyone is navigating their own challenges. Mastering inner peace is not about escaping the world, but about transforming how you move through it. It's about learning to let go of what doesn't serve you, so you can hold on to what does. The more you practice, the stronger this peace becomes, until it's no longer something you seek, but something you carry with you, always. Letting go of external influences is a powerful step toward reclaiming your peace. But there's another layer to this journey, one that transforms the way you experience life from the inside out. It's about where you draw your happiness, your sense of purpose, and your fulfillment. Too often, we rely on others to fill these spaces for us, placing our emotional well-being in the hands of people or circumstances. This dependence can leave us vulnerable, always wanting for someone else to provide what only we can truly give ourselves. Self-reliance isn't about isolation or doing everything alone. It's about understanding that your inner happiness is yours to create and nurture. It's the foundation for a life where contentment doesn't depend on what others do or don't do, but instead grows from your own choices, actions, and mindset. True self-reliance starts with accountability. It's recognizing that no one else is responsible for how you feel or what you achieve. While external circumstances can influence your life, they don't have the final say. When you take responsibility for your emotions and decisions, you reclaim the power to shape your own experience. This mindset shifts you from being a passive observer in your own life to an active participant, steering your course with intention. To cultivate this sense of self-reliance, begin by exploring your values. What matters most to you? Too often we adopt the priorities of those around us, chasing goals that don't align with our true selves. When you take the time to identify your core values, you lay the groundwork for a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. These values become your compass, guiding your actions and helping you make decisions that resonate deeply. Happiness rooted in self-reliance grows when you find joy in small, consistent actions rather than grand achievements. External rewards like promotions or praise are fleeting. They provide a temporary high, but leave you searching for the next boost. Internal joy, however, comes from habits and choices that align with your values. Whether it's setting aside time for reflection, pursuing a passion, or simply appreciating the present moment, these practices build a steady, unshakable sense of contentment. Learning to meet your own needs is another essential aspect. This doesn't mean rejecting help or support from others, but recognizing when and how you can fulfill your emotional, physical, or mental needs on your own. Start with small steps. If you're feeling low, instead of seeking reassurance from others, explore ways to uplift yourself. A walk, journaling, or engaging in an activity you love can shift your mood. Over time, these self-care practices reinforce the belief that you are capable of nurturing your own happiness. Resilience is a natural byproduct of self-reliance. Life will always have challenges, but when your sense of self-worth and peace isn't tied to external factors, you're better equipped to face those difficulties. Resilience isn't about ignoring pain or pretending everything is fine. It's about trusting your ability to navigate hardships without losing yourself. Each time you overcome a challenge on your own terms, you reinforce your confidence in your strength. Another key to self-reliance is reducing dependency on validation from others. Seeking approval can feel satisfying in the moment, but it also makes you reliant on external praise to feel good about yourself. When you learn to validate your own worth through self-reflection and self-compassion, you free yourself from the need for constant external affirmation. This doesn't mean dismissing others' opinions entirely. It means prioritizing your own judgment and inner truth. Setting boundaries plays a significant role in fostering self-reliance. Boundaries aren't just about keeping negativity out. They're about protecting the space you need to thrive. They allow you to focus on what's important to you without being overwhelmed by external demands. When you set boundaries, you're telling yourself and the world that your needs matter. This act of self-respect strengthens your inner foundation. Cultivating gratitude also supports self-reliance. Gratitude shifts your perspective from what's lacking to what's present. It reminds you that even in the toughest times, there are aspects of life you can appreciate and build upon. This mindset helps you rely less on external circumstances for happiness, because you begin to see the abundance already within and around you. Developing self-reliance doesn't mean avoiding connections with others. It means entering relationships from a place of strength rather than neediness. When you're secure in your own sense of self, you can engage with others without placing the weight of your happiness on them. This not only strengthens your relationships, but also fosters mutual respect and understanding. Self-reliance also encourages you to embrace personal growth. By taking ownership of your development, you create a life that reflects your aspirations and potential. Whether it's learning a new skill, challenging limiting beliefs, or pursuing a goal, each step forward becomes a testament to your ability to shape your own destiny. This commitment to growth reminds you that you have the tools within you to create a meaningful and fulfilling life. Finding happiness within requires letting go of the need for control over everything and everyone around you. The more you try to manipulate external factors to create happiness, the more frustrated and helpless you'll feel. Self-reliance teaches you to focus on what you can control, your thoughts, actions, and attitudes, while accepting what lies beyond your influence. This acceptance doesn't mean passivity. It means channeling your energy into what truly matters. Learning to celebrate your successes, no matter how small, is another step in this journey. Each time you achieve something, whether it's a completed task, a personal breakthrough, or a moment of mindfulness, take a moment to acknowledge it. These celebrations reinforce your belief in your own abilities and encourage you to continue creating joy from within. Self-reliance also involves cultivating inner dialogue that is supportive rather than critical. Many of us are our own harshest critics, constantly replaying mistakes or doubting our worth. Changing this narrative is essential. Speak to yourself as you would to a loved one, with kindness, encouragement, and understanding. This practice builds self-trust and reinforces the idea that you are your own greatest ally. Another powerful tool is mindfulness. Being present in each moment allows you to connect with yourself more deeply. It helps you recognize your emotions without being consumed by them, making it easier to understand and meet your needs. Mindfulness also enhances your ability to appreciate life's simple pleasures, strengthening the sense of happiness that comes from within. Self-reliance thrives on the practice of letting go, of expectations, comparisons, and the need for perfection. Happiness isn't about having everything go your way. It's about finding peace with what is. By releasing the pressure to constantly achieve or please, you open the door to a more authentic and contented way of living. As you nurture self-reliance, you'll notice a shift in how you experience the world. Challenges become opportunities to grow, relationships become spaces for genuine connection, and happiness becomes something you carry with you rather than something you chase. This is the foundation of a life rooted in strength, resilience, and unshakable peace. When you learn to rely on yourself for happiness, a profound shift occurs. You begin to see the beauty of your own company, the strength in silence, and the clarity that arises when the noise of the world fades. Yet, for many, the idea of being alone feels uncomfortable or even daunting. It's easy to confuse solitude with loneliness, but they are not the same. Solitude is a powerful choice, a gift you give yourself to recharge, reflect, and reconnect with your inner world. It's in this space that transformation happens, where true strength is cultivated. Solitude offers something the busy world rarely does: stillness. In stillness, you find the clarity that can't be reached amidst constant distractions. It allows you to hear your own thoughts without interference, to process emotions fully, and to gain insights into what truly matters. The act of being alone creates a sacred space where self-discovery can flourish. When there's no one to impress or appease, you're free to explore who you are at your core. In a world that glorifies connection and constant interaction, solitude can feel counterintuitive. Yet, the benefits are immense. It gives you the opportunity to step away from external influences and reset your perspective. Without the opinions of others shaping your decisions, you can make choices that align with your values and desires. This time alone becomes a powerful tool for honing your intuition, sharpening your focus, and building confidence in your ability to navigate life independently. Solitude also allows you to process and release emotions in a healthy way. When surrounded by others, it's easy to suppress feelings or let them be shaped by external reactions. Alone, you have the space to sit with your emotions, understand them, and let them pass naturally. This creates emotional resilience and teaches you that you can handle difficult feelings without relying on external validation or distraction. Another strength of solitude is its role in fostering creativity. Great thinkers, artists, and innovators throughout history have sought solitude as a source of inspiration. When you remove yourself from the noise of the world, your mind has the freedom to wander and explore new ideas. Solitude isn't about isolating yourself permanently. It's about creating moments where your creativity can thrive, unrestricted by the expectations or judgments of others. Solitude deepens your relationship with yourself. In the quiet, you begin to recognize patterns in your thoughts and behaviors, uncovering both strengths and areas for growth. This self-awareness becomes a cornerstone of personal development. When you understand yourself deeply, you're better equipped to set meaningful goals, overcome challenges, and build relationships based on authenticity rather than need. In addition to personal growth, solitude enhances your ability to connect with others. It might seem paradoxical, but time alone can make your relationships stronger. When you're comfortable in your own company, you don't approach others out of loneliness or dependence. Instead, you engage from a place of wholeness, bringing more to your connections and allowing others to be themselves without carrying the weight of your unmet needs. Spending time in solitude also helps you redefine your relationship with technology. The constant stream of notifications, messages, and updates can make you feel tethered to the outside world, leaving little room for introspection. By intentionally stepping away from digital distractions, you reclaim your attention and create space for deeper thoughts and reflections. This doesn't mean abandoning technology entirely, but using it intentionally rather than letting it control your focus. Solitude teaches the value of intentional living. When you're alone, you have the freedom to choose how you spend your time without the influence of others' preferences or expectations. This autonomy encourages you to prioritize what truly matters to you, whether it's pursuing a hobby, engaging in mindfulness, or simply resting. Over time, these moments of intentionality build a life that feels more aligned and fulfilling. Physical solitude often mirrors inner solitude. Spending time in nature, for instance, has a grounding effect that enhances the benefits of being alone. The natural world offers a sense of perspective, reminding you of life's vastness and your place within it. Walking through a forest, sitting by the ocean, or even watching the stars can evoke a profound sense of peace and connectedness, even in solitude. Solitude also provides an opportunity to practice gratitude. When you step back from the busyness of daily life, you can fully appreciate the people, experiences, and resources that enrich your life. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present, creating a sense of abundance and contentment. This mindset becomes a source of strength, allowing you to face challenges with grace and optimism. One of the most transformative aspects of solitude is the development of inner stillness. It's in this stillness that you discover the quiet strength within you, the unshakable part of yourself that remains steady regardless of external circumstances. This inner stillness becomes a sanctuary, a place you can return to whenever life feels overwhelming. Solitude isn't just about being physically alone. It's about creating mental space as well. You can experience solitude in a crowded room if you cultivate the ability to detach from distractions and focus inward. This mental solitude allows you to remain calm and centered even in chaotic environments, a skill that becomes invaluable in navigating the complexities of modern life. It's also important to recognize that solitude is a skill, and like any skill, it takes practice to develop. If being alone feels uncomfortable at first, start small. Spend a few minutes each day in silence, free from distractions. Gradually increase this time as you become more comfortable with your own thoughts. Over time, you'll find that what once felt like discomfort transforms into a source of empowerment. Solitude can also be a tool for reflection and self-correction. When you step back from the demands of daily life, you can evaluate your actions, choices, and direction with greater clarity. This reflective practice helps you realign with your values and make adjustments that lead to a more authentic and intentional life. While solitude has many benefits, it's important to balance it with connection. The goal isn't to isolate yourself from the world, but to find harmony between time alone and time with others. Solitude gives you the strength to engage with the world from a place of inner stability, making your interactions more meaningful and enriching. Through solitude, you learn to appreciate your own presence. You realize that you are enough just as you are, without needing constant validation or distraction. This realization creates a deep sense of self-worth and confidence, freeing you from the need to seek fulfillment outside of yourself. As you embrace solitude, you'll notice its ripple effects throughout your life. Your relationships become more authentic, your decisions more aligned, and your sense of peace more consistent. Solitude isn't a retreat from life. It's a foundation for living it more fully. It's an invitation to reconnect with your inner world and draw strength from within, no matter what lies ahead. Solitude opens the door to profound self-discovery, teaching you the value of your own company and the strength that resides within. But there is another force that can limit this newfound peace and autonomy: the relentless craving for approval from others. This need, deeply ingrained in human nature, often feels like a lifeline for acceptance, belonging, and worth. Yet, it can also act as a silent thief, robbing you of your authenticity and independence. Breaking free from this cycle isn't about rejecting connection. It's about reclaiming your sense of self, allowing you to engage with others from a place of strength rather than need. The need for approval begins early in life, shaped by societal norms, expectations, and the desire to be loved. Over time, this longing can grow into a dependency, where self-worth hinges on the opinions, reactions, or validation of others. When approval becomes the measure of your value, you may find yourself constantly adapting, compromising, or silencing parts of who you are to fit into molds that were never meant for you. Recognizing this pattern is the first step toward breaking free. Freedom from approval. Seeking starts with self-awareness. Take a moment to reflect on how often you adjust your actions or words to gain acceptance. This isn't about blame, but about understanding the subtle ways approval has shaped your life. From the clothes you wear to the opinions you voice or don't voice, these choices can reveal the depth of your need for external validation. By acknowledging this, you can begin to question whether those choices truly align with your authentic self or are simply attempts to please others. Developing self-worth that isn't tied to others' opinions is a powerful antidote. This involves shifting your focus inward, valuing yourself for who you are rather than what others think. Start by identifying your strengths, values, and qualities that make you unique. Write them down if needed, and revisit them often. These reminders anchor you in your own worth, creating a foundation that isn't swayed by external judgment. A key aspect of breaking free is learning to embrace imperfection. The pursuit of approval often comes hand in hand with the fear of being judged for your flaws or mistakes. But perfection is an impossible standard, one that keeps you trapped in a cycle of anxiety and self-doubt. Accepting that you are imperfect and that this imperfection is what makes you human allows you to show up as your true self. It's in your authenticity, not your perfection, that genuine connections are formed. Learning to set boundaries is another crucial step. The need for approval can lead to overcommitting, people-pleasing, or neglecting your own needs. Boundaries aren't about shutting people out. They're about defining what's acceptable for your well-being. Saying no, even when it feels uncomfortable, is an act of self-respect. It signals that your time, energy, and priorities matter, reinforcing the message that you don't need external approval to feel worthy. Breaking free from approval seeking also involves rethinking rejection. Rejection is often seen as evidence of inadequacy, but it's simply a part of life, an indication of differing perspectives, priorities, or circumstances. By reframing rejection as redirection, you can view it as an opportunity to grow, learn, or focus on what truly aligns with you. Each no becomes less about your worth and more about finding the right path. Releasing the need for approval also means embracing the discomfort of being misunderstood. Not everyone will agree with your choices, and that's okay. Trying to please everyone often leads to losing yourself in the process. The courage to stand by your decisions, even in the face of criticism, strengthens your sense of self. You don't have to explain or justify your every move. Your life is yours to live. Cultivating a strong internal compass is vital. When you know your values and principles, they guide your actions and decisions more than the opinions of others. This doesn't mean you never listen to feedback, but that you discern which voices align with your goals and which do not. Feedback can be valuable, but it should never replace your own sense of direction. Practicing mindfulness helps detach from the pull of approval seeking. When you focus on the present moment, you're less likely to get caught up in the what-ifs of how others perceive you. Mindfulness teaches you to observe your thoughts without judgment, making it easier to identify and let go of those rooted in the need for validation. This creates mental space for self-acceptance and confidence to grow. Another tool is self-compassion. Approval seeking often stems from an inner critic that tells you you're not enough. Counter this voice with kindness. Speak to yourself as you would to a friend, acknowledging your efforts, progress, and humanity. This shift from self-criticism to self-compassion reinforces the idea that your worth isn't dependent on external validation. Building resilience to criticism is another important skill. Criticism, whether constructive or not, can sting, but it doesn't define you. Separate the message from the messenger. Ask yourself if the criticism is rooted in truth, or if it's simply a reflection of someone else's perspective. Use it to grow if it aligns with your goals, but let it go if it doesn't. Remember, no one knows your journey as well as you do. Breaking free from approval seeking also requires redefining success. Society often equates success with external recognition, titles, awards, or social status. But true success is deeply personal. It's about living a life that feels meaningful to you, regardless of how it looks to others. When you redefine success on your own terms, you liberate yourself from the pressure to conform to societal expectations. Gratitude can also shift your perspective. Instead of seeking approval for what you don't have, focus on what you do have. Gratitude reminds you that your worth isn't tied to accomplishments or others' opinions, but is rooted in the abundance of your life as it is. This mindset fosters contentment and self-assurance. Breaking free from the need for approval allows you to connect more authentically with others. When you're not constantly seeking validation, your interactions become less about proving yourself and more about genuine connection. You can show up as you are, allowing others to do the same. These relationships are richer, deeper, and more fulfilling because they're built on mutual respect rather than performance. This journey isn't about rejecting approval altogether. It's natural to enjoy being valued and acknowledged. Instead, it's about ensuring that your happiness, choices, and self-worth aren't dependent on it. When you no longer need approval to feel complete, you reclaim your freedom, authenticity, and peace. And with that freedom comes the ability to live a life that truly reflects who you are, not who others expect you to be. Breaking free from the need for approval brings clarity and strength, but the journey doesn't end there. Rejection, in all its forms, often lurks as the next hurdle, sharp, disheartening, and capable of shaking even the strongest resolve. It's a universal experience, yet it holds a power that can either shatter or shape us. What determines the outcome is not the rejection itself, but how we choose to respond. Embracing grace and resilience in the face of rejection transforms what feels like an end into a new beginning, where growth and self-discovery take center stage. Rejection has a way of triggering deep emotional pain, often tied to the fear of being unworthy or unloved. To overcome it, start by understanding its nature. Rejection is not a reflection of your inherent value. It's a byproduct of differing needs, perspectives, or circumstances. This shift in perspective helps you separate the event from your sense of self-worth. Rejection isn't personal, it's situational. Processing rejection with grace begins with allowing yourself to feel. It's natural to experience sadness, disappointment, or anger, but suppressing these emotions only prolongs their impact. Acknowledging your feelings without judgment creates space for healing. It's not weakness to feel, it's a sign of humanity. Giving yourself permission to grieve a lost opportunity or relationship paves the way for acceptance. Reflection is a powerful tool in handling rejection. Use it as a moment to pause and ask questions, not from a place of self-blame, but of curiosity. What can this experience teach you? Was there something you could have approached differently, or was it simply a mismatch? Honest reflection turns rejection into a source of insight, helping you refine your approach without eroding your confidence. Rejection often plants seeds of doubt, whispering that you're not good enough. Combat these thoughts with self-affirmation. Remind yourself of your strengths, accomplishments, and unique qualities. Create a mental or written list of what makes you valuable, and revisit it whenever doubt creeps in. This practice reinforces your belief in your worth, regardless of external validation. Building resilience to rejection involves practicing detachment from outcomes. While it's natural to hope for a specific result, anchoring your happiness to that outcome sets you up for disappointment. Focus instead on the effort you put in and the lessons learned along the way. Detachment doesn't mean indifference. It means trusting that the right opportunities will align in their own time. Developing resilience also requires shifting your mindset about failure. Rejection is often seen as a failure, but it's more accurately a stepping stone. Many successes are built on a foundation of setbacks. Each rejection becomes an opportunity to grow, adapt, and build strength. When you reframe rejection as a necessary part of progress, it loses its sting and gains purpose. Surrounding yourself with a supportive environment is essential. Rejection can feel isolating, but sharing your experience with trusted friends or mentors provides comfort and perspective. They remind you that rejection is a shared human experience and that you're not alone in facing it. Leaning on others doesn't diminish your resilience. It enhances it by fostering connection and understanding. Practicing self-compassion in the face of rejection is crucial. Often, the harshest judgment comes from within. Treat yourself with kindness, recognizing that you're doing the best you can in a world that doesn't always align with your efforts. Speak to yourself with the same empathy you'd offer a friend, and resist the urge to criticize or belittle yourself for being affected. One of the most transformative ways to handle rejection is to view it as redirection. When one door closes, it often leads to opportunities that are better suited for your growth and happiness. Trusting this process requires faith in yourself and in the journey ahead. Redirection isn't failure, it's a recalibration toward what aligns with your true path. Rejection also teaches humility and patience. It reminds you that not everything will go as planned and that adaptability is a strength. Patience allows you to sit with uncertainty and trust that the right opportunities will come when the time is right. This mindset encourages resilience, helping you remain steady even in the face of repeated setbacks. Developing a long-term perspective is another key to overcoming rejection. In the moment, rejection can feel like a significant blow, but in the grand scheme of your life, it's often a small chapter in a much larger story. Reflecting on past rejections that eventually led to growth or new opportunities can help you maintain perspective and trust the process. Rejection also provides an opportunity to practice gratitude. While it may feel counterintuitive, focusing on what remains rather than what was lost shifts your mindset toward abundance. Gratitude grounds you in the present, reminding you of the many aspects of life that continue to thrive despite rejection. Another powerful approach is to channel rejection into action. Use it as motivation to refine your skills, explore new paths, or strengthen your resolve. Each setback becomes fuel for improvement, turning what might have been a defeat into a source of empowerment. This proactive response builds confidence and demonstrates your ability to thrive under pressure. Letting go of the need to control every outcome is another lesson rejection offers. Sometimes, despite your best efforts, things don't work out. Accepting this reality frees you from the burden of perfectionism and allows you to approach life with more openness and ease. Rejection loses its power when you learn to flow with life rather than resist it. Rejection also encourages introspection about your goals and priorities. Sometimes, being turned away forces you to reevaluate whether what you were pursuing truly aligns with your values and aspirations. This reflection can lead to deeper clarity about what matters most to you, guiding you toward more meaningful pursuits. As you grow through rejection, you develop a sense of emotional independence. This doesn't mean you stop caring about others' opinions entirely, but that their approval or disapproval no longer defines your worth. Emotional independence gives you the freedom to pursue your goals and express yourself authentically without fear of judgment. Embracing resilience means celebrating progress rather than perfection. Each time you navigate rejection with grace, you strengthen your ability to face future challenges. These moments of growth build a foundation of confidence and self-assurance, making you more prepared for whatever lies ahead. Overcoming rejection isn't about avoiding it. It's about transforming its impact. By approaching rejection with grace and resilience, you shift from seeing it as an obstacle to recognizing it as an integral part of your journey. It becomes a teacher, a guide, and a source of strength, propelling you toward greater self-discovery and fulfillment. The sting of rejection often stems from the weight we place on others' opinions. When their judgments shape our identity or dictate our choices, we hand over the power to define who we are. Breaking free from this cycle is not about silencing every voice around you, but about strengthening your own. It's about reclaiming your narrative, so others' views no longer hold the pen that writes your story. There's a profound freedom in living authentically, and it begins when you stop letting others' opinions define your worth. Allowing others' opinions to dictate your life often starts from a place of insecurity. When you're unsure of who you are or what you stand for, External voices can feel like guideposts, but these guideposts often lead you away from your true self. Recognizing this is the first step to breaking the cycle. Begin by acknowledging how much weight you give to other people's perspectives. Awareness sheds light on the areas where you may be compromising your authenticity. To stop letting others' opinions define you, it's essential to cultivate self-awareness. This involves taking a closer look at your core beliefs, values, and priorities. Ask yourself why certain opinions affect you deeply. Are they pointing to a hidden insecurity or fear of not being enough? By understanding these triggers, you can start addressing them from within rather than letting them fester. Building self-confidence is a powerful antidote to external validation. Confidence grows when you trust yourself, your decisions, abilities, and uniqueness. Start by focusing on your strengths. Reflect on the things you excel at and the qualities that make you unique. When you have a strong sense of your own value, others' opinions lose their grip on you. Learning to set boundaries around external input is another essential step. Not every opinion deserves your attention. Some feedback comes from a place of care, while others may stem from envy, misunderstanding, or projection. Developing discernment allows you to filter what's helpful and dismiss what isn't. You can still listen to others without absorbing their words as absolute truths. A crucial part of this process is realizing that everyone views life through their own lens. People's opinions are shaped by their experiences, biases, and insecurities. Their judgments often say more about them than they do about you. Understanding this creates emotional distance between their perspective and your reality, making it easier to detach from harmful judgments. Practicing self-validation strengthens your resilience against others' opinions. Instead of seeking reassurance from external sources, affirm your own worth and decisions. This could involve journaling about your achievements, meditating on positive affirmations, or simply reminding yourself of past successes. These practices reinforce the idea that your value comes from within, not from the approval of others. Mindfulness is a powerful tool in this journey. By staying present, you can observe others' opinions without attaching emotions or meaning to them. Mindfulness helps you create space between their words and your reactions, allowing you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. It also grounds you in your own reality, reducing the influence of external judgments. Letting go of perfectionism is another key. Often the fear of others' opinions is tied to a desire to appear flawless, but perfection is an illusion, and striving for it only deepens your dependence on validation. Accepting your imperfections frees you to live authentically, without the constant pressure to meet unrealistic standards. This authenticity is not only liberating, but also magnetic. It draws others to the real you. Shifting your focus inward helps you prioritize what truly matters. When you stop seeking validation, you have more energy to invest in your goals, passions, and growth. This inward focus doesn't mean ignoring others entirely, but valuing your inner voice above external noise. By doing so, you create a life driven by your aspirations rather than the expectations of others. Developing emotional independence is another critical aspect. This doesn't mean shutting out others or becoming indifferent to their thoughts. Instead, it's about maintaining your emotional equilibrium regardless of external input. Emotional independence allows you to engage with others from a place of strength, where their opinions are considered but not defining. Reframing criticism as feedback rather than a personal attack is also valuable. Constructive criticism can offer insights and opportunities for growth. However, not all criticism is worth internalizing. Learn to discern the intention behind the words. If the critique aligns with your values and goals, use it to improve. If it doesn't, let it go without guilt or overthinking. Practicing gratitude shifts your perspective from external judgments to internal contentment. Gratitude reminds you of what's going well in your life and the progress you've made. By focusing on these positives, you're less likely to be swayed by negative opinions. Gratitude creates a buffer that protects your self-worth from external fluctuations. Strengthening your inner dialogue is essential. Often, others' opinions gain power because they echo doubts you already carry. Transform your self-talk from critical to encouraging. Replace thoughts like, "What if they don't like me?" with, "I am proud of who I am." This shift not only reduces the impact of external opinions, but also builds a stronger, more compassionate relationship with yourself. Taking ownership of your life is another important step. When you let others' opinions dictate your choices, you surrender control over your destiny. Reclaiming that control means making decisions that align with your values, even if they're met with resistance or judgment. Ownership reinforces your belief in your ability to navigate life on your terms. Surrounding yourself with supportive people creates an environment where you feel valued for who you are, not what others expect you to be. Seek out relationships that encourage authenticity and growth rather than conformity. These connections act as a counterbalance to negative opinions, reminding you that you're not alone in your journey. Learning to detach from labels is another way to reclaim your identity. Labels, whether they're compliments or criticisms, can be limiting. They box you into others' perceptions rather than allowing you to define yourself. Detaching from these labels creates space for growth, exploration, and self-expression. Accepting that you can't control others' thoughts is liberating. No matter how much you strive to be liked or understood, some people will disagree or disapprove. Letting go of this need for control frees you to focus on what you can influence: your actions, reactions, and mindset. This shift creates a sense of empowerment and peace. Celebrating your individuality strengthens your resolve against external opinions. Embrace the quirks, interests, and qualities that set you apart. They're not weaknesses to hide, but strengths to celebrate. When you take pride in your uniqueness, others' judgments become less relevant. Over time, as you practice these steps, you'll notice a profound shift. Others' opinions lose their grip, and your sense of self becomes unshakable. You'll find the courage to take risks, the clarity to make authentic decisions, and the freedom to live a life true to your values. This is not just a rejection of external validation, but an embrace of inner confidence, a journey toward becoming the author of your own story. Breaking free from opinions is liberating, but that freedom can be fragile if you lack the tools to protect it. Maintaining this autonomy and nurturing your inner peace requires setting boundaries, clear, firm, and compassionate lines that safeguard your emotional, mental, and physical well-being. Boundaries aren't about pushing people away. They're about honoring yourself while maintaining respect for others. They create the space needed to thrive, free from the exhaustion of overextending yourself or compromising your values. Boundaries begin with self-awareness. Before you can set them, you need to know where your limits lie. Take time to reflect on areas where you feel drained, overwhelmed, or taken for granted. These feelings often signal places where boundaries are either weak or non-existent. Identifying these areas helps you clarify what's important and what you need to protect. Saying no is one of the simplest yet most powerful ways to establish boundaries. However, it's often accompanied by guilt or fear of disappointing others. Recognizing that no is not a rejection of someone else, but an affirmation of your own needs, can help shift your perspective. Saying no doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care enough about your well-being to prioritize it. Boundaries require clear communication. Expecting others to read your mind or pick up on subtle cues often leads to misunderstandings. When expressing a boundary, be direct yet respectful. Use I statements to convey your feelings and needs without blaming others. For example, instead of saying, "You never respect my time," try, "I feel overwhelmed when plans change at the last minute. Can we agree to plan ahead?" Enforcing boundaries takes courage, especially when met with resistance. Some people may challenge or disregard your limits, especially if they're accustomed to you saying yes. In these moments, it's crucial to remain firm. Consistency reinforces that your boundaries are non-negotiable and encourages others to respect them over time. Boundaries are not static. They evolve as your life and priorities change. Regularly reassessing your limits ensures they align with your current needs. What worked in the past may no longer serve you, and that's okay. Adjusting boundaries isn't a sign of failure. It's a sign of growth and self-awareness. Protecting your inner peace also means recognizing the importance of boundaries with yourself. It's easy to become your own worst critic or to push yourself beyond healthy limits. Setting internal boundaries, such as limiting self-criticism, carving out time for rest, or establishing routines, ensures you nurture yourself with the same care you offer others. Boundaries also play a vital role in managing relationships. Healthy boundaries create balance, allowing you to maintain connections without losing yourself. They help prevent resentment, which often arises when you feel your needs are consistently overlooked. By setting boundaries, you ensure that relationships are built on mutual respect and understanding. One of the most challenging aspects of boundaries is dealing with guilt. Saying no or prioritizing your needs can feel selfish, especially if you've been conditioned to put others first. Recognizing that self-care isn't selfish but necessary is key. You can't pour from an empty cup. Protecting your peace allows you to show up fully for others when it truly matters. Boundaries help you avoid burnout by preventing overcommitment. When you stretch yourself too thin, you risk physical, emotional, and mental exhaustion. Learning to delegate, decline, or postpone tasks that don't align with your priorities helps you conserve energy for what's most important. Practicing boundaries in small, everyday interactions builds the confidence to set them in more significant situations. Start with low-stakes scenarios, like declining an invitation or taking time to yourself without explaining why. As you see the positive impact of these actions, you'll feel more empowered to uphold boundaries in more complex or emotionally charged situations. Boundaries also teach others how to treat you. When you consistently enforce your limits, you set a standard for how you expect to be treated. This creates a ripple effect, encouraging respect and consideration in all areas of your life. Conversely, when boundaries are ignored, it often reflects more on the other person than on you. Recognizing this helps you detach from their behavior without internalizing it. Self-respect is both a foundation and an outcome of boundaries. Each time you set and uphold a limit, you affirm your worth and priorities. This act of self-respect strengthens your confidence, creating a positive cycle that reinforces your sense of identity and autonomy. Boundaries also help you create space for joy and fulfillment. When you're not constantly saying yes out of obligation, you have more time and energy to pursue what truly matters to you. This intentional focus enriches your life, making it more aligned with your values and passions. Navigating boundaries with compassion is essential. While firmness is important, it's also helpful to approach boundary setting with empathy. Acknowledge that others may need time to adjust to your limits, especially if they've been used to you overextending yourself. Patience and understanding go a long way in maintaining relationships while still protecting your peace. The process of setting boundaries often highlights areas where you need healing. If you find it particularly difficult to assert yourself in certain situations, it may point to past experiences or patterns that require attention. Exploring these areas with curiosity and compassion helps you grow and strengthens your ability to set healthy limits moving forward. Boundaries are also a tool for clarity. When you establish what's acceptable and what's not, you reduce ambiguity in your relationships and interactions. This clarity fosters smoother communication, reduces conflict, and creates a sense of stability in your life. Learning to detach from others' reactions to your boundaries is vital. Not everyone will respond positively, and that's okay. Their reaction is not a reflection of your worth or the validity of your needs. By focusing on your intentions rather than their response, you can maintain your peace regardless of how they react. Boundaries also allow you to prioritize quality over quantity in your relationships. When you're no longer spreading yourself too thin, you can deepen the connections that truly matter. This shift often leads to more meaningful and fulfilling interactions, as you're able to show up fully present and engaged. Practicing gratitude for the benefits of boundaries reinforces their importance. Reflect on how setting limits has improved your life, whether through reduced stress, stronger relationships, or increased time for self-care. Gratitude not only strengthens your commitment to boundaries, but also helps you approach them with a positive mindset. Over time, setting boundaries becomes second nature. What initially feels challenging evolves into a natural expression of self-respect and care. This transformation empowers you to live with greater freedom, authenticity, and peace, creating a life that truly reflects your values and priorities. Boundaries empower you to protect your inner peace, but the key to true freedom lies in knowing where your influence ends and acceptance begins. Life often throws curveballs, people, events, and outcomes beyond your grasp. The more energy spent trying to control the uncontrollable, the further you drift from peace. Turning inward, learning to focus solely on what you can shape, holds the promise of liberation. It's not just about finding peace in chaos, but reclaiming the power you unknowingly give away when chasing what's beyond your reach. Focusing on what you can control starts with clarity. The first step is identifying the elements within your influence. These include your actions, reactions, thoughts, and decisions. Recognizing these areas creates a sense of empowerment, anchoring you in the present. You cannot dictate how others behave, but you can choose how to respond. You cannot change the past, but you can decide how it will shape your future. Shifting this perspective is like untangling a mental knot, releasing unnecessary tension and stress. Acceptance is an essential part of this process. Often the desire to control external circumstances stems from fear of uncertainty, loss, or failure. Accepting that uncertainty is an inherent part of life allows you to let go of this fear. Acceptance doesn't mean complacency. It means acknowledging reality as it is, while focusing your energy on constructive actions. This shift opens the door to peace, because you no longer expend effort fighting what cannot be changed. Learning to detach from outcomes transforms the way you approach challenges. Attachment to specific results often leads to disappointment when life doesn't align with your expectations. Instead, prioritize the effort over the result. Pour your energy into doing your best and trust that the outcome will unfold as it's meant to. This approach not only reduces anxiety, but also fosters resilience, as your sense of fulfillment comes from the process, not the external result. Cultivating mindfulness strengthens your ability to focus on what you can control. Mindfulness keeps you rooted in the present moment, where your power lies. Dwelling on the past or worrying about the future distracts you from what you can actively influence. By practicing mindfulness, whether through meditation, breathing exercises, or simply paying attention to your daily actions, you train your mind to remain centered on what truly matters. Embracing responsibility is another cornerstone of focusing on what you can control. While you cannot control external events, you are entirely responsible for how you respond to them. Taking ownership of your choices and their consequences empowers you to navigate life with confidence. Blaming others or circumstances for your struggles only reinforces a sense of helplessness. But accepting responsibility shifts the narrative, making you the driver of your journey. Patience plays a vital role in this process. Focusing on what you can control doesn't yield instant results, and growth takes time. Developing patience allows you to remain calm and steady, even when progress feels slow or obstacles arise. Patience teaches you to trust the journey rather than rushing toward an outcome, helping you maintain focus and resilience. Learning to prioritize your energy is crucial. When you spend time worrying about what you can't control, you drain resources that could be better used elsewhere. By consciously directing your energy toward actions within your power, you maximize your impact. This focus not only enhances productivity, but also creates a sense of fulfillment as you see tangible results from your efforts. Resilience grows when you let go of what's beyond your influence. Resilience is not about avoiding challenges, but about adapting to them with grace. By focusing on what you can control, you build the mental and emotional strength to weather life's uncertainties. Resilience turns setbacks into opportunities for growth, allowing you to navigate life's ups and downs without losing your center. Boundaries extend into this realm as well. Just as you set limits with others, you must set boundaries with your own mind. Catch yourself when spiraling into thoughts about uncontrollable factors and redirect that energy toward something constructive. This mental discipline is a practice that grows stronger with time, creating a mindset that prioritizes peace over worry. Gratitude offers a powerful lens for reinforcing focus on what you can control. By appreciating the aspects of life within your influence, your health, relationships, or opportunities, you shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance. Gratitude reminds you of what's going well, reducing the temptation to fixate on what's not. It cultivates a sense of contentment that anchors you in the present. Letting go of control doesn't mean detachment from care or effort. It's about aligning your energy with what truly matters. For example, in relationships, you cannot force someone to change, but you can communicate honestly, set boundaries, and decide how much you're willing to invest. This approach fosters healthier connections, free from the frustration of unmet expectations. Focusing on what you can control also involves embracing change. Resistance to change often comes from a desire to maintain control over the familiar. However, life is inherently dynamic, and adapting to change allows you to flow with its rhythm. Embracing change doesn't mean abandoning stability. It means finding steadiness within yourself, regardless of external shifts. Self-compassion is an essential companion on this journey. There will be moments when you falter or feel overwhelmed by circumstances beyond your control. Treating yourself with kindness and understanding during these times reinforces your resolve. Self-compassion reminds you that you're human and that focusing on what you can control is a practice, not a perfection. Learning to let go of the need for control creates space for creativity and growth. When you stop trying to micromanage every aspect of life, you allow room for spontaneity and unexpected opportunities. This openness fosters a sense of curiosity, transforming challenges into puzzles rather than problems. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means trusting the flow of life while steering your ship. This practice also strengthens your relationships. When you release the urge to control others, you create space for genuine connection. People feel more valued and respected when they're allowed to be themselves, free from pressure or manipulation. This fosters trust and mutual respect, deepening your bonds with others. Focusing on what you can control simplifies life. It reduces the noise of unnecessary worries and distractions, allowing you to direct your attention to what truly matters. This simplicity doesn't mean life becomes easy, but it does become clearer. Decisions are guided by your values and priorities rather than external chaos. As you practice focusing on what you can control, you begin to notice a profound shift. Stress diminishes, clarity increases, and a sense of empowerment takes root. You realize that true freedom isn't about controlling everything around you. It's about mastering yourself. This mastery doesn't come from force, but from alignment, where your actions reflect your deepest values and aspirations. It's here, in this alignment, that you discover the essence of peace and the strength to face whatever comes your way. Letting go of the need to control what cannot be influenced allows for an inner peace that no external chaos can disrupt. However, peace reaches its fullest potential when you embrace authenticity, stepping boldly into a life that reflects your true self. Authentic living is not about perfection, it's about alignment, choosing actions, words, and thoughts that resonate deeply with who you are. This journey requires shedding fear and judgment, those invisible barriers that keep you tethered to expectations and disconnected from your essence. Living authentically begins with self-awareness. To be true to yourself, you must first understand who you are. This process involves introspection, asking questions like, what do I value most? What brings me joy? What drains my energy? Exploring these questions can be uncomfortable because they may reveal truths you've avoided or compromises you've made for others' approval. But this discomfort is a small price to pay for the clarity and freedom that follows. Fear is often the first obstacle to authenticity. It takes many forms: fear of failure, fear of rejection, or fear of stepping outside societal norms. This fear keeps you small, holding back your dreams, passions, and opinions to fit in. Recognizing fear for what it is, a natural but often misguided response, helps you move past it. Fear loses its power when you confront it with understanding rather than avoidance. Acknowledge its presence, but don't let it dictate your choices. Judgment, whether from others or yourself, is another significant barrier. The weight of others' opinions can feel suffocating, leading to decisions based on what is expected rather than what feels right. However, judgment is rarely about you. It's a reflection of others' perspectives, insecurities, or biases. Letting go of judgment begins with detachment. Recognize that you cannot control how others perceive you, and that their opinions do not define your worth. Self-judgment can be even more damaging. The critical voice in your head often amplifies external judgments, creating a cycle of doubt and insecurity. Breaking free requires cultivating self-compassion. Treat yourself with the kindness and understanding you would offer a friend. Accept your imperfections as part of your humanity, not as flaws to hide. Authenticity thrives in the space where self-acceptance replaces self-criticism. Setting boundaries supports authentic living by creating space for you to express yourself without fear of intrusion or invalidation. Boundaries protect your time, energy, and identity, allowing you to align your actions with your values. They also signal to others that you are committed to honoring your truth, which often inspires respect, even if it initially meets resistance. Living authentically requires courage. It means making decisions that align with your inner compass, even when they challenge conventions or provoke criticism. Courage doesn't mean you're fearless. It means acting despite fear. Each time you take a step toward authenticity, you strengthen your resilience and confidence, making it easier to continue on this path. Authenticity also demands vulnerability. To live truthfully, you must be willing to show parts of yourself that feel exposed or unpolished. Vulnerability is not weakness. It's the foundation of connection and trust. When you allow yourself to be seen as you are, you invite others to do the same, fostering deeper and more meaningful relationships. Gratitude plays a role in authentic living by grounding you in the present and shifting your focus from lack to abundance. Gratitude helps you appreciate your journey, including the challenges that have shaped you. By acknowledging the lessons and growth from these experiences, you cultivate a mindset of acceptance, which is essential for living authentically. Letting go of the need for approval liberates you from the exhausting cycle of trying to please everyone. Authenticity doesn't require validation, it requires alignment. This shift allows you to make choices based on what feels right for you rather than what is expected. Over time, you'll find that the people who truly matter will respect and support your authenticity, even if they don't always agree with you. Mindfulness helps you stay present and aligned with your true self. When you practice mindfulness, you become more aware of when you're acting out of habit, fear, or judgment. This awareness creates an opportunity to pause, reflect, and choose a path that feels authentic. Mindfulness also reduces the influence of external noise, allowing you to tune into your inner voice. Living authentically involves taking risks. Stepping outside your comfort zone is often necessary to pursue what feels true to you. These risks might include starting a new career, ending a toxic relationship, or speaking up for what you believe in. While the outcome of these risks is uncertain, the act of taking them reinforces your commitment to authenticity. Authenticity also requires patience. Change doesn't happen overnight, and the process of peeling back layers of fear, judgment, and expectation takes time. Celebrate small victories along the way, and remember that progress, not perfection, is the goal. Each step toward authenticity brings you closer to a life that feels meaningful and aligned. Authenticity is not about rejecting feedback or input from others. Instead, it's about discerning what aligns with your values and goals. Feedback can be valuable when it's constructive and resonates with your truth. Learning to filter feedback ensures that you stay open to growth while remaining true to yourself. Authenticity creates a ripple effect. When you live authentically, you inspire others to do the same. Your courage, vulnerability, and alignment can serve as a model for those around you, encouraging them to explore their own truths. This ripple effect strengthens your connections and contributes to a culture of authenticity and acceptance. Letting go of the fear of failure is essential for authenticity. Failure is not a reflection of your worth, but a natural part of growth. Reframing failure as a learning opportunity allows you to take bold steps without fear of judgment or setback. Each failure becomes a stepping stone toward a life that aligns more closely with your values and passions. Living authentically means embracing change. As you grow and evolve, your truth may shift. Allow yourself the freedom to adapt and redefine what authenticity looks like for you. This flexibility ensures that your path remains dynamic and reflective of your current self, rather than tethered to outdated ideals. The journey to authenticity is deeply personal, but its rewards extend far beyond the self. An authentic life is one of fulfillment, connection, and peace. It's a life where your choices, relationships, and actions are infused with meaning and integrity. By letting go of fear and judgment, you unlock the freedom to be fully, unapologetically yourself, creating a legacy that resonates with truth and purpose. Authenticity is the foundation of a fulfilling life, but the strength to live authentically comes from deep within. The more you seek external validation, the more you hand over control of your self-worth to forces outside your grasp. There's a quiet power in turning inward, in cultivating inner growth as the source of your confidence, direction, and peace. This isn't a rejection of the world. It's a shift in focus toward what truly sustains you. Let's delve into the art of fostering growth from within, anchoring yourself in a sense of self that doesn't waver with the changing tides of external opinions. Inner growth begins with self-awareness. It's about understanding your values, beliefs, and the motivations that drive your actions. Self-awareness is cultivated through honest reflection and a willingness to confront your patterns, even the ones you'd rather ignore. When you prioritize this kind of introspection, you begin to see your strengths and areas for growth clearly. This clarity creates a foundation for intentional development, freeing you from the need to seek external approval to validate your choices. The pursuit of inner growth calls for patience and consistency. Unlike the fleeting nature of external validation, the changes you nurture within take time to manifest. Growth often comes in small, subtle shifts rather than dramatic transformations. This requires faith in the process and a focus on long-term fulfillment rather than immediate gratification. As you invest in yourself, you start to notice how these internal changes create ripple effects, enhancing every aspect of your life. Authentic growth often requires stepping outside of your comfort zone. This isn't about forcing yourself into uncomfortable situations for the sake of it, but about recognizing where you've been holding back due to fear or complacency. Growth is found in taking risks, trying new things, and challenging the limitations you've placed on yourself. With each step forward, you build confidence and expand your understanding of your capabilities. Gratitude plays a vital role in fostering inner growth. By appreciating where you are and acknowledging the progress you've made, you create a positive foundation for further development. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have, fostering a mindset of abundance. This mindset makes it easier to detach from the need for external approval because your sense of worth comes from recognizing your own value rather than seeking it from others. Inner growth also involves letting go of perfectionism. The pursuit of perfection is often driven by a desire for external validation, a fear of judgment, or an attempt to prove your worth. True growth embraces imperfection as a natural part of being human. It's in the messiness of life, the mistakes, the missteps, and the lessons that you find the greatest opportunities for development. Releasing the need for perfection allows you to focus on progress and self-acceptance. Resilience is a byproduct of inner growth. When you shift your focus inward, you strengthen your ability to weather challenges without being thrown off course. Resilience comes from understanding that setbacks are temporary and do not define your worth. It's about responding to difficulties with grace and using them as opportunities to grow stronger and more self-reliant. Developing a growth mindset is essential for prioritizing inner growth. A growth mindset is the belief that your abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort and learning. This perspective opens the door to endless possibilities for improvement, as it encourages you to view challenges as opportunities rather than obstacles. A growth mindset also fosters curiosity and a willingness to explore new ideas, making your inner journey dynamic and enriching. Mindfulness is a powerful tool for cultivating inner growth. By staying present and aware, you create space to observe your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors without judgment. Mindfulness helps you recognize when you're seeking validation from external sources and redirects your focus inward. It allows you to make conscious choices that align with your values, fostering a deeper connection with yourself. Prioritizing inner growth often means re-evaluating your relationships. Surrounding yourself with people who support and inspire your development creates an environment where you can thrive. Conversely, distancing yourself from toxic or draining influences allows you to focus your energy on what truly matters. This doesn't mean cutting people out impulsively, but being intentional about the connections you nurture. Self-compassion is at the heart of inner growth. Treating yourself with kindness, even when you stumble, creates a safe space for exploration and learning. Self-compassion allows you to approach challenges with curiosity rather than criticism, making it easier to grow from your experiences. It also reinforces the idea that your worth is not tied to external achievements, but rooted in your inherent value as a person. Setting boundaries with yourself is as important as setting them with others. Prioritizing inner growth requires discipline, such as limiting distractions, avoiding comparison, and dedicating time to self-reflection or personal projects. These internal boundaries help you stay focused on your goals and prevent external influences from derailing your progress. Creativity flourishes when you prioritize inner growth. By turning inward, you unlock new ways of thinking, problem-solving, and expressing yourself. Creativity isn't limited to artistic pursuits. It's about approaching life with an open mind and a willingness to see things differently. This perspective enriches your experiences and contributes to your sense of fulfillment. Forgiveness is a powerful catalyst for inner growth. Holding on to resentment or regret ties your energy to the past, making it difficult to move forward. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior. It means freeing yourself from the burden of anger or guilt. By letting go, you create space for healing and growth, allowing you to focus on the present. Inner growth transforms your relationship with success. Instead of measuring success by external markers like wealth, status, or recognition, you begin to define it by your personal values and sense of purpose. This shift creates a more sustainable and meaningful approach to achievement, one that is deeply fulfilling rather than fleeting. Authenticity deepens as you prioritize inner growth. The more you understand and nurture yourself, the easier it becomes to live in alignment with your values. This alignment creates a sense of ease and confidence, as your choices reflect your true self rather than external expectations. Living authentically becomes a natural extension of your inner journey. The pursuit of inner growth also fosters humility. As you learn and evolve, you recognize that growth is a lifelong process. This humility keeps you open to new experiences, perspectives, and lessons, enriching your journey and deepening your connections with others. Prioritizing inner growth doesn't mean isolating yourself from the world. It means approaching life with a sense of balance, where your inner work complements your external actions. By focusing on your own development, you become better equipped to contribute positively to the lives of others, creating a ripple effect of growth and inspiration. The path of inner growth is not linear, but every step forward strengthens your foundation. As you continue this journey, you'll find that the need for external validation fades, replaced by a profound sense of self-reliance and peace. This inner strength allows you to navigate life with confidence, grace, and a deep appreciation for the unique journey you're on. Inner growth creates a foundation of peace and fulfillment, but this sense of contentment can easily be disrupted by the subtle yet pervasive habit of comparison. When you measure your life against others, you dilute the unique value of your own journey. The constant weighing of achievements, appearances, or circumstances chips away at your inner calm, often leaving behind envy, inadequacy, or misplaced ambition. But there's a way to reclaim your focus and step away from this endless cycle of comparison. Comparison thrives on perception, not truth. What you observe in others is often a curated glimpse of their reality, filtered through social norms, appearances, or even social media. This distortion can lead to unrealistic expectations and unwarranted self-doubt. Recognizing this helps you separate illusion from reality and shift your attention back to your own path. Each person's life is filled with struggles and triumphs, most of which remain unseen. Acknowledging this broader perspective fosters empathy rather than envy. The habit of comparing stems from a natural desire to belong and excel. While this drive can be constructive, it becomes harmful when it spirals into constant competition. Measuring your progress against others is like running a race on shifting terrain, one you cannot win because the finish line keeps moving. Instead, focus on competing with yourself. Growth is best measured by how far you've come, not how you compare to someone else's accomplishments. One of the dangers of comparison is its tendency to fuel dissatisfaction. The more you fixate on what others have, the less you appreciate your own blessings. Gratitude is a powerful antidote. When you consciously acknowledge the good in your life, the pull of envy weakens. Gratitude redirects your attention from what you lack to what you already possess, cultivating a mindset of abundance that frees you from the cycle of comparison. Self-worth often becomes entangled with external validation through comparison. You may feel successful only when you perceive yourself as doing better than others. This conditional sense of worth is fragile, subject to the whims of external circumstances. Shifting to an internal measure of value is liberating. Your worth isn't tied to rankings, possessions, or achievements. It resides in your character, resilience, and the unique contributions you bring to the world. Focusing on your own journey requires mindfulness. Comparison pulls you into a future of what-ifs or a past of should-haves, robbing you of the present. Mindfulness anchors you in the here and now, where your actions hold the power to shape your reality. Staying present allows you to engage fully with your life, diminishing the distractions of others' paths. Comparison also distorts priorities. It tempts you to pursue goals that align more with societal expectations than with your own values. When you step back and reassess, you may realize that some of the things you covet are not even what you truly desire. Aligning your actions with your authentic aspirations ensures that your efforts bring genuine fulfillment rather than hollow achievements. Building self-awareness helps you recognize the triggers of comparison, whether it's social media, certain environments, or specific relationships. Identifying these triggers allows you to set boundaries and protect your peace. Limiting exposure to comparison-inducing situations is not avoidance. It's a strategic step toward nurturing a healthier mindset. Embracing your uniqueness is a powerful way to combat comparison. Your strengths, experiences, and perspective form a combination that cannot be replicated. Celebrating these qualities helps you appreciate the richness of your individuality. When you focus on your unique attributes, the inclination to compare diminishes because you see your life as incomparable. Comparison often thrives in moments of uncertainty or insecurity. When you're unsure of your path, looking at others can feel like a shortcut to finding direction. However, this approach is flawed because their map is not yours. Instead, invest time in self-discovery. Reflect on what truly matters to you and chart a course that aligns with your passions and purpose. This clarity strengthens your resolve to stay true to your journey. Cultivating compassion for yourself and others diffuses the competitive nature of comparison. When you view others' success with admiration rather than jealousy, you create space for collaboration and connection. Similarly, treating yourself with kindness when you fall short helps you move forward without getting stuck in self-criticism. Compassion shifts the focus from better than or less than to together as we grow. Comparison can lead to burnout by driving you to meet unrealistic standards. Striving for excellence is noble, but not when it comes at the cost of your well-being. Setting boundaries for your ambitions ensures that you pursue growth in a sustainable way. Rest, reflection, and self-care are not indulgences. They are necessary components of a fulfilling life. Reframing failure as a stepping stone rather than a setback is another way to weaken the grip of comparison. Everyone's journey includes moments of struggle and mistakes, yet these are often hidden in the polished images presented to the world. Embracing your failures as part of your story allows you to see them as opportunities for growth rather than reasons to compare. Celebrating others' success can also help dismantle the habit of comparison. Shifting from envy to genuine happiness for someone else's achievements fosters a sense of abundance. There is enough success, joy, and opportunity to go around. Recognizing this abundance reduces the feeling that someone else's gain diminishes your own. Purpose is a powerful anchor that keeps you grounded in your own journey. When you are clear about your purpose, you are less likely to be swayed by others' paths. Purpose provides direction and meaning, making it easier to focus on what truly matters rather than getting caught up in comparisons. The practice of non-attachment helps you let go of the outcomes tied to comparison. Whether it's material possessions, status, or recognition, clinging to these external markers creates a cycle of desire and dissatisfaction. Non-attachment doesn't mean indifference. It means appreciating what you have while understanding that your peace doesn't depend on acquiring more. Comparison often thrives on a scarcity mindset, the belief that there's not enough success, happiness, or love to go around. Shifting to a mindset of abundance helps you see the world as full of possibilities. This perspective encourages collaboration and generosity, weakening the competitive nature of comparison. Living authentically diminishes the appeal of comparison. When you align your life with your values and passions, you feel fulfilled regardless of external circumstances. Authenticity fosters a sense of integrity and confidence, making it easier to appreciate your journey without being distracted by others. Over time, the practice of letting go of comparison becomes second nature. You begin to notice how much lighter and more focused you feel when your energy is directed inward rather than outward. This freedom allows you to engage fully with your own life, experiencing joy, peace, and fulfillment on your terms. The path away from comparison is not one of isolation, but one of empowerment, where you reclaim your energy and focus on the beauty and richness of your unique journey. Comparison weighs heavily on the heart, pulling focus away from the unique beauty of your own journey. Once you let go of the need to measure yourself against others, a new question arises. What remains when external markers no longer dictate your happiness? The answer lies in non-attachment. This practice does not ask you to give up your desires or relationships, but rather invites you to shift your relationship with them. Non-attachment is not about denying joy, but about finding deeper contentment in simplicity and letting go of the weight of clinging. Non-attachment begins with awareness of how deeply you hold on to things, ideas, and outcomes. Often, attachment grows out of fear of losing something valuable or of facing emptiness without it. Yet, this clinging can become a source of suffering, as the more tightly you grip, the more power the object of attachment holds over you. Recognizing this dynamic is the first step toward releasing the hold these attachments have on your peace. Practicing non-attachment does not mean living without love or connection. Rather, it means engaging with life and people fully, without trying to control or possess them. True love and relationships thrive when they are not burdened by expectations or the fear of loss. In non-attachment, you cherish each moment and person for what they bring to your life, without demanding permanence or perfection. This creates relationships that are grounded in respect and freedom. Material possessions often become a focal point of attachment, yet their pursuit can lead to a cycle of desire and dissatisfaction. Non-attachment invites you to evaluate your relationship with things, not to abandon them entirely, but to ensure they serve you rather than define you. Simplicity becomes a key element here. Owning fewer possessions often brings more clarity and peace, as your energy is no longer consumed by maintaining or striving for more. Simplicity, however, is not just about decluttering your physical space. It is about simplifying your priorities and aligning your life with what truly matters. Non-attachment to societal standards of success, beauty, or achievement allows you to set goals that are meaningful to you rather than dictated by external pressures. This creates a life that feels purposeful and authentic, free from the distractions of trying to meet unrealistic expectations. One of the most challenging aspects of non-attachment is letting go of fixed outcomes. We often tie our happiness to specific results, believing that success or fulfillment can only come in one form. This rigid thinking can lead to disappointment and frustration when life takes an unexpected turn. Non-attachment allows you to embrace uncertainty and trust that life's flow will bring opportunities for growth and joy, even if they differ from your original plans. Non-attachment also extends to thoughts and beliefs. We often cling to our opinions, identities, and narratives, even when they no longer serve us. Letting go of these mental attachments creates space for growth and transformation. This does not mean abandoning your values, but being open to new perspectives and allowing yourself the freedom to evolve. Mindfulness is a powerful tool for cultivating non-attachment. By staying present, you reduce the tendency to dwell on the past or worry about the future. The practice of mindfulness encourages you to experience each moment fully, without holding on to it or pushing it away. This balance allows you to engage with life deeply while remaining free from the suffering that comes with clinging. Gratitude supports non-attachment by shifting your focus from what you lack to what you have. When you appreciate the present moment and the blessings in your life, the desire for more diminishes. Gratitude fosters a sense of contentment that makes it easier to let go of unnecessary attachments. Practicing non-attachment requires courage. Letting go of the things, ideas, or relationships you've held tightly can feel daunting, as it challenges your sense of security. However, true freedom lies on the other side of this release. With each step you take toward non-attachment, you build resilience and discover an inner strength that no external circumstance can shake. Forgiveness is closely linked to non-attachment. Holding on to resentment or anger ties you to the past, preventing you from moving forward. Forgiveness does not mean condoning harm. It means releasing the emotional burden that comes with clinging to hurt. Letting go of these attachments to the past creates space for healing and growth, allowing you to focus on the present. Non-attachment encourages you to live in alignment with your values rather than being swayed by fleeting desires or external influences. This clarity of purpose simplifies decision-making and reduces the stress of constantly trying to please others or meet shifting expectations. By staying true to your core beliefs, you create a life that feels stable and meaningful. Letting go of attachment to control is another key element. Control is often an illusion, as many aspects of life are beyond your influence. Non-attachment helps you accept this reality and respond to challenges with grace rather than resistance. This acceptance does not mean passivity. It means focusing your energy on what you can influence while releasing the rest. Practicing non-attachment in daily life often begins with small steps. It could mean letting go of a minor annoyance, resisting the urge to check your phone constantly, or choosing to forgive someone for a small slight. These moments of release build the habit of non-attachment, making it easier to address larger challenges as they arise. Non-attachment fosters a deeper sense of connection with the world. When you let go of the need to own or control, you begin to see the interconnectedness of all things. This perspective reduces the sense of separation and competition, replacing it with a feeling of unity and compassion. Joy becomes more accessible when you practice non-attachment. Without the burden of constantly striving or fearing loss, you are free to experience life as it unfolds. This joy is not dependent on circumstances, but arises from a deep sense of peace and gratitude. Non-attachment is a lifelong practice, not a destination. Each day offers opportunities to release something that no longer serves you and to embrace the freedom that comes with it. As you continue on this path, you'll find that contentment is not about what you have or achieve, but about how you relate to the world around you. Letting go creates space for abundance. When your hands are not full of what no longer serves you, they are open to receive what truly aligns with your values and purpose. This abundance is not measured by material wealth, but by the richness of your experiences, relationships, and inner peace. The practice of non-attachment does not lead to emptiness, but to a fuller, more meaningful life. It allows you to engage with the world without being consumed by it, to love deeply without clinging, and to pursue your goals without being defined by them. Through non-attachment, you find the freedom to live authentically, connected to the present moment, and grounded in simplicity. This freedom is the essence of contentment and the heart of a life well lived. The freedom found in letting go brings clarity, yet life's complexities often pull us back into distraction and chaos. While non-attachment lays the groundwork for peace, the ability to stay present in the midst of life's turbulence turns that foundation into unshakable strength. Every moment offers an opportunity to center yourself, no matter how loud the world becomes. Mindfulness isn't just a tool. It is a way of living fully, of meeting life exactly as it is and finding serenity within its noise. Mindfulness begins with paying attention, not to what has been or what might be, but to what is happening right now. The mind often leaps between regret and anticipation, leaving little space for the present. Learning to notice this habit is the first step in cultivating mindfulness. It is not about controlling the mind, but observing it with curiosity and kindness, creating a sense of awareness that grows stronger with practice. Breath serves as a natural anchor for mindfulness. Focusing on each inhale and exhale brings you back to the present moment, grounding you in your body and calming the mind. Breathing is something you carry with you always, an accessible reminder to return to the here and now. Each breath offers a chance to reset, to let go of distractions, and to feel the steady rhythm that connects your inner world to the outer one. The practice of mindfulness can begin with small moments. While washing your hands, notice the coolness of the water and the texture of the soap. While eating, savor the flavors and textures of your food without rushing to the next bite. These simple acts become opportunities to slow down and engage fully with what is in front of you. Over time, these small practices build a habit of presence that extends to every aspect of your day. One of the challenges of mindfulness is learning to sit with discomfort. When chaos surrounds you or emotions run high, the instinct is often to escape or numb the pain. Mindfulness invites you to remain, to acknowledge the discomfort without judgment, and to observe it with curiosity. This practice does not eliminate the challenges, but allows you to respond with calm and clarity rather than reacting out of fear or frustration. Mindfulness transforms how you interact with others. Listening deeply, without interrupting or planning your next response, creates genuine connections. It allows you to hear not only the words, but the emotions behind them. This presence builds trust and strengthens relationships, fostering understanding and compassion. Each interaction becomes a space for growth and connection. Cultivating mindfulness means embracing imperfection. The mind will wander, distractions will arise, and some days will feel harder than others. Instead of judging these moments as failures, mindfulness encourages you to return to the present with gentleness. Every time you bring your focus back, you strengthen the habit of presence and deepen your practice. The chaotic nature of modern life makes mindfulness even more essential. Constant notifications, endless to-do lists, and a fast-paced culture pull attention in countless directions. Creating mindful boundaries, such as setting aside time to unplug from technology, helps protect your focus and energy. These intentional pauses allow you to step out of the chaos and reconnect with yourself. Gratitude and mindfulness are closely linked. When you stay present, you become more attuned to the beauty and blessings around you. Gratitude arises naturally as you notice the sunlight streaming through a window, the kindness in a friend's voice, or the simple joy of a quiet moment. This awareness shifts your perspective, reducing the pull of negativity and enhancing your overall sense of well-being. Mindfulness also nurtures resilience. When you remain present, you build the capacity to handle challenges with grace. Instead of being overwhelmed by the magnitude of a problem, mindfulness helps you focus on the next step. By breaking down challenges into manageable pieces and addressing them one at a time, you create a sense of control and steadiness. The practice of mindfulness extends to thoughts and emotions. Rather than becoming entangled in your thoughts, mindfulness allows you to observe them as they come and go. This detachment creates space between you and your reactions, empowering you to choose how to respond. Over time, you develop a greater sense of emotional balance and self-awareness. Nature provides a powerful setting for mindfulness. The rustle of leaves, the sound of water, or the warmth of the sun offers grounding experiences that draw you into the present. Time spent outdoors not only enhances mindfulness, but also nurtures a sense of connection with the world around you. This connection reminds you of the larger rhythms of life and your place within them. Mindfulness also transforms mundane routines into moments of meaning. Brushing your teeth, folding laundry, or walking to the store become opportunities to practice presence. By focusing fully on these tasks, you bring a sense of purpose and calm to even the most ordinary parts of your day. Forgiveness becomes more accessible through mindfulness. By staying present, you release the grip of past grievances and open yourself to healing. Mindfulness doesn't erase the hurt, but allows you to hold it with compassion and let it lose its power over your peace. Forgiveness becomes a gift you give yourself, freeing your heart from the weight of resentment. Mindfulness nurtures creativity by quieting the noise of doubt and distraction. When you are fully present, you create space for new ideas to emerge. Whether painting, writing, problem-solving, or simply daydreaming, mindfulness enhances your ability to think openly and expansively. This clarity sparks inspiration and innovation. The present moment holds infinite potential, but it can only be accessed through mindfulness. When you bring your full attention to now, you align with life's flow rather than resisting it. This alignment creates a sense of ease and harmony, even amid challenges. You learn to trust the process, knowing that each moment carries exactly what you need. Mindfulness is not about controlling your environment, but about choosing how you engage with it. The chaos of the world will continue, but mindfulness gives you the tools to remain steady within it. This practice strengthens your ability to navigate life's ups and downs with a sense of peace and purpose. The journey of mindfulness is never complete, but each step brings greater awareness, connection, and contentment. By staying present amid chaos, you reclaim your power to live fully and authentically. Mindfulness is not just a practice. It is a way of being that transforms every moment into an opportunity for growth, gratitude, and peace. Mindfulness reveals the profound beauty of each moment, but beneath this awareness lies a universal truth that can be both freeing and challenging. Nothing lasts forever. The fleeting nature of life can feel unsettling, yet it holds the key to profound peace. To truly live mindfully, one must embrace impermanence. This shift in perspective not only eases the grip of fear, but also allows you to approach life with grace and gratitude. Impermanence is not a curse, but a natural rhythm that connects everything. Flowers bloom and wither, seasons change, relationships evolve, and even the strongest structures eventually crumble. Resisting this truth often leads to pain and disappointment, as the energy spent trying to hold on to the unholdable creates tension within. By learning to flow with change rather than against it, you discover a lighter way of living. Acceptance of impermanence fosters resilience. Life's uncertainties and challenges can feel overwhelming when you expect stability to last forever. Recognizing that change is inevitable allows you to adapt rather than break under pressure. Each challenge becomes an opportunity for growth when you understand it is a moment, not a permanent state. Letting go becomes easier when you embrace impermanence. Clinging to people, situations, or possessions only deepens attachment and fear of loss. By appreciating their presence without demanding their permanence, you create space for gratitude and joy. This perspective shifts your focus from trying to control outcomes to cherishing experiences as they unfold. Impermanence reminds you of life's urgency. Knowing that time is finite compels you to prioritize what truly matters. It encourages you to express love, pursue passions, and engage fully with the present, rather than postponing joy for an uncertain future. This awareness transforms procrastination into purposeful action. Understanding impermanence also deepens your relationships. Knowing that connections may not last forever fosters a sense of appreciation and presence with loved ones. Instead of taking moments for granted, you invest more deeply in them. This approach enriches your bonds and leaves fewer regrets, even when change takes someone away. Fear of loss diminishes when you accept impermanence. The knowledge that nothing is permanent removes the illusion of control, which often fuels anxiety. This doesn't mean becoming indifferent, but learning to hold joy and sorrow with equal grace. Both are transient, and both contribute to the fullness of life. Impermanence also dissolves the ego's grip. Many of the fears and desires that dominate your thoughts stem from a belief in the permanence of self or possessions. Accepting that you too are part of life's ebb and flow allows you to live with humility and openness. This perspective nurtures compassion as you see yourself in others' struggles and triumphs. Change often brings discomfort, but it also brings renewal. When one chapter closes, another begins. This truth allows you to approach endings with hope rather than despair. The pain of loss often carries seeds of transformation, leading to new opportunities, insights, and connections. Embracing impermanence encourages you to detach from rigid expectations. Life rarely unfolds as planned, and holding tightly to specific outcomes can lead to disappointment. By remaining open to what arises, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering and cultivate a mindset of curiosity and acceptance. Impermanence teaches you the value of letting go of grudges and bitterness. Holding on to past wrongs keeps you tied to pain that no longer serves you. Forgiveness becomes easier when you understand that nothing, not even hurt, is meant to last. Releasing these attachments creates space for healing and peace. The fleeting nature of material possessions becomes clearer through impermanence. While they can bring comfort or joy, their value is not eternal. This understanding encourages a shift in priorities, focusing more on experiences, relationships, and inner growth rather than the accumulation of things. Contentment arises from what cannot be taken away. Impermanence also reframes success and failure. Achievements, like setbacks, are temporary. This perspective reduces the pressure to constantly chase external validation and helps you appreciate the journey rather than fixating solely on the destination. Success becomes a moment to celebrate, not a standard to maintain endlessly. When you embrace impermanence, you develop greater flexibility. Life's unexpected twists no longer feel like disruptions, but become natural parts of the process. Flexibility allows you to adapt and thrive in changing circumstances, turning what might have been obstacles into stepping stones. Impermanence enhances gratitude. Knowing that moments are fleeting compels you to savor them fully. The warmth of the sun, the sound of laughter, or the comfort of a kind word gain deeper significance when you acknowledge their transience. Gratitude transforms ordinary experiences into treasures. Living with an awareness of impermanence fosters humility. It reminds you that everything, no matter how grand or seemingly enduring, is part of a larger cycle. This humility encourages respect for others and for the natural world, fostering a sense of interconnectedness and responsibility. Impermanence invites you to redefine your relationship with time. Instead of viewing it as something to control or conquer, you begin to see it as a gift. This shift reduces the rush and stress of modern life, encouraging a pace that aligns with your values rather than external demands. The concept of impermanence also opens the door to wonder. When you release the need for permanence, you become more attuned to the beauty of change, the transformation of seasons, the growth of a child, or the shifting patterns of a river become sources of awe and inspiration. Impermanence reminds you that beginnings and endings are two sides of the same coin. Each loss carries within it the potential for something new. This cycle of renewal encourages hope, even in difficult times. The end of one phase is not a void, but a transition to what lies ahead. Practicing impermanence is not about detachment in the sense of isolation, but about engaging with life more fully. By letting go of the need to cling, you free yourself to experience each moment without fear. This freedom creates a sense of lightness and joy that permeates your interactions and choices. Through impermanence, you learn to trust the flow of life. It teaches you that you don't need to force outcomes or resist change. Trusting the natural rhythm of beginnings and endings allows you to live with greater ease and alignment, confident that each moment holds what you need. Inner peace emerges naturally when you accept impermanence. Without the burden of trying to control what cannot be controlled, your mind and heart find rest. This peace is not passive, but deeply active, rooted in an understanding that everything, even chaos, is part of a larger order. Embracing impermanence transforms how you see yourself and the world. It encourages you to live with gratitude, compassion, and openness, making each moment a source of wonder and learning. Far from being a loss, impermanence is a gift, a reminder to live fully, love deeply, and let go gracefully. This perspective nurtures a life rich with meaning, free from fear, and filled with peace. Understanding impermanence reveals the freedom found in life's constant flow, yet it also brings a profound question to the forefront. If everything changes, then what is your role in this vast, ever-shifting world? This leads to a journey many overlook, but one that transforms existence, the path of self-discovery. It is not a destination, but an unfolding, a gradual alignment with your truest self and purpose. Self-discovery begins with listening, not to the noise of the outside world, but to the quiet whispers within. In a world filled with external expectations, your inner voice often gets drowned out. This voice, subtle yet persistent, holds the answers you seek about who you are and what truly matters. To hear it, you must create space for reflection, free from distractions and judgment. The process of uncovering your purpose often requires peeling back layers of conditioning. From a young age, many are taught to pursue goals defined by others, society, family, or culture. These external markers of success can feel hollow if they don't resonate with your inner values. The journey of self-discovery asks you to question these inherited beliefs and replace them with your own truths. Curiosity is a cornerstone of self-discovery. By staying open to new experiences, perspectives, and ideas, you begin to see yourself more clearly. Each encounter becomes a mirror reflecting different facets of who you are. This openness doesn't mean abandoning your values, but allowing them to evolve as you learn and grow. Self-discovery also involves recognizing and embracing your strengths. Often, people downplay their abilities, focusing instead on their flaws or limitations. Yet, your unique gifts are clues to your purpose. Paying attention to what brings you joy and energy can guide you toward a life that feels meaningful and aligned. Equally important is acknowledging your fears and insecurities. The journey of self-discovery is not about perfection, but honesty. Facing your shadow, the parts of yourself you may prefer to avoid, leads to greater self-awareness and compassion. This courage to look inward fosters resilience and authenticity. Aligning with your purpose requires clarity about your values. These core principles act as a compass, guiding your decisions and priorities. When your actions align with your values, life feels more cohesive and fulfilling. However, identifying these values often requires deep introspection, free from the influence of others. A significant part of self-discovery is understanding that your purpose is not fixed. It evolves as you do. What felt meaningful at one stage of life may no longer resonate later. This flexibility allows you to adapt without losing sight of your deeper intentions. Purpose is less about a single destination and more about living in alignment with your true self, moment by moment. The role of relationships in self-discovery cannot be overstated. Others serve as both teachers and mirrors, reflecting parts of yourself you may not fully see. Meaningful connections challenge you to grow and provide support as you navigate your path. At the same time, the journey requires periods of solitude to process and integrate these lessons. Creativity often plays a vital role in self-discovery. Engaging in creative pursuits, whether writing, painting, or problem-solving, allows you to express parts of yourself that words cannot capture. These moments of flow, where you lose track of time, offer glimpses into your deeper passions and capabilities. Self-discovery requires patience. It is not a process that can be rushed or forced. There will be moments of clarity and others of confusion, but both are essential. The times of uncertainty often lead to breakthroughs, as they push you to explore parts of yourself you might otherwise ignore. Your true purpose is rarely about self-interest alone. It often involves contributing to something larger than yourself. This sense of connection to others, to the world, or to a higher principle brings meaning to your actions. When your purpose aligns with service, it creates a ripple effect that benefits not only you, but also those around you. Practicing gratitude deepens the journey of self-discovery. By appreciating where you are, even as you seek growth, you cultivate a sense of contentment. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is abundant, helping you stay grounded as you uncover your purpose. The journey also requires letting go of comparison. Your path is unique, and measuring it against others' journeys only creates doubt and distraction. Instead, focus on your progress and trust that each step, no matter how small, is part of a larger unfolding. Mindfulness strengthens self-discovery by keeping you present. The answers you seek often arise in the quiet moments when you are fully engaged with life. This presence allows you to notice patterns, instincts, and desires that guide you toward alignment with your purpose. Self-discovery involves embracing imperfection. Growth is not linear, and setbacks are inevitable. These moments of struggle often carry the most profound lessons. By viewing them as opportunities rather than failures, you develop a deeper understanding of yourself and your resilience. The journey of self-discovery transforms how you view success. Instead of external achievements, success becomes living authentically and contributing in ways that align with your values. This shift in perspective brings freedom from the constant chase for approval and recognition. Time spent in nature often enhances self-discovery. The stillness and beauty of the natural world provide a space for reflection and connection. Observing nature's cycles of growth and renewal mirrors your own process, reminding you that change is natural and necessary. Self-discovery requires courage to let go of what no longer serves you. This might mean releasing relationships, habits, or goals that are out of alignment with your true self. While letting go can be painful, it creates space for new opportunities and deeper fulfillment. Engaging in meaningful rituals supports self-discovery. These can be as simple as journaling, meditating, or setting intentions each morning. Rituals create a sense of structure and focus, anchoring you in your journey even when the path feels uncertain. As you align with your true purpose, you may find that life feels more effortless. Challenges still arise, but they no longer feel insurmountable because your actions are rooted in authenticity. This alignment creates a sense of flow, where your energy is directed toward what truly matters. The journey of self-discovery is both deeply personal and universally shared. While no two paths are identical, the desire to live meaningfully connects us all. By walking this path, you not only transform your own life, but also inspire others to do the same. This interconnectedness gives your journey a sense of purpose that extends beyond yourself. Through self-discovery, you begin to see life not as a series of tasks or goals, but as an ongoing exploration of who you are and what you can offer. This perspective shifts your focus from doing to being, creating a life that feels rich, balanced, and aligned. In the end, self-discovery is not about finding something external, but about uncovering what has been within you all along. It is a return to your most authentic self, a reunion with the values, passions, and truths that define you. This journey is both the path and the destination, a continuous unfolding of the life you are meant to live. As the journey of self-discovery leads to a deeper alignment with your true purpose, a question arises. How can you maintain this clarity and authenticity amid the turbulence of daily life? Life does not grant immunity from challenges, conflicts, or unexpected shifts. Yet, there is a state of being that can guide you through it all with calm and resilience. Equanimity is not about detachment, but about balance, a grounded way of engaging with the world that lets you navigate its storms without losing your center. Equanimity begins with understanding that emotions are not enemies, but signals. They rise and fall like waves, sometimes overwhelming and other times subtle. Resisting them often amplifies their intensity, but observing them with curiosity diffuses their power. This practice of noticing, without clinging or pushing away, creates a space where emotions are acknowledged but do not control you. Breathing is a powerful anchor in moments of emotional turbulence. Slowing your breath, focusing on its steady rhythm, creates an immediate sense of calm. It bridges the gap between your mind and body, reminding you of your capacity to respond rather than react. This simple act serves as a foundation for equanimity, a way to pause and ground yourself before taking action. Equanimity thrives when you embrace a perspective of impermanence, knowing that all experiences, both joyful and painful, are temporary, brings relief. It prevents you from becoming overly attached to highs or despairing during lows. This perspective helps you meet challenges with grace, trusting that even the most difficult moments will pass. Setting boundaries is essential for maintaining emotional balance. By clearly defining what you will and will not accept, you create a protective space for your well-being. Boundaries are not walls, but filters, allowing you to engage with others without losing your sense of self. This clarity reduces the emotional chaos that often arises from unclear expectations or overcommitment. Equanimity requires a practice of non-judgment, not just toward others, but toward yourself. Often, the harshest critic resides within, amplifying guilt, shame, or doubt. By learning to observe your thoughts without attaching labels of good or bad, you cultivate a sense of compassion and understanding. This inner kindness becomes a foundation for emotional stability. Acceptance plays a central role in equanimity. Resistance to reality often creates more suffering than the situation itself. Acceptance does not mean resignation, but acknowledging what is as a first step toward meaningful action. This mindset shifts your focus from what cannot be controlled to what you can influence, freeing you from unnecessary stress. Resilience is another pillar of equanimity. It is the ability to recover and adapt, to rise after falling. Resilience grows when you face challenges as opportunities for growth rather than as insurmountable obstacles. Each setback becomes a stepping stone, strengthening your resolve and deepening your emotional balance. Mindfulness nurtures equanimity by bringing your attention to the present. When your mind wanders to past regrets or future worries, it destabilizes your emotions. Staying present, fully engaged in what is happening now, reduces this mental noise and brings clarity. This practice helps you respond to life's demands with intention rather than impulse. Practicing gratitude enhances equanimity by shifting your perspective. Focusing on what is going well, even during challenging times, helps balance the mind. Gratitude creates a sense of abundance, countering the pull of negativity and fostering a resilient outlook. It anchors you in the positive aspects of life, even amid difficulties. Equanimity is not about avoiding emotions, but embracing them without becoming consumed. This balance allows you to experience life fully while maintaining perspective. By holding joy and sorrow lightly, you avoid at the extremes of attachment and aversion, finding peace in the middle path. Compassion strengthens equanimity by softening your reactions to others. When faced with anger, criticism, or negativity, responding with compassion rather than defensiveness transforms the interaction. Compassion does not mean accepting harm, but understanding the struggles behind others' actions. This perspective fosters patience and reduces emotional reactivity. Equanimity requires cultivating a sense of trust in yourself, in others, and in the larger flow of life. Trusting yourself means believing in your ability to handle challenges. Trusting others involves letting go of the need to control their actions. Trusting life means embracing uncertainty as a natural part of existence. This trust creates a foundation for balance and calm. Simplicity supports equanimity by reducing unnecessary distractions and stress. A cluttered life often leads to a cluttered mind, making emotional balance harder to achieve. Simplifying your priorities, commitments, and possessions creates space for clarity and peace. This intentional focus allows you to engage with what truly matters. Equanimity also involves the art of reframing. The way you interpret situations significantly affects your emotional response. By choosing to see challenges as lessons or setbacks as opportunities, you shift your perspective from frustration to empowerment. This mental flexibility enhances your ability to maintain balance in all circumstances. The company you keep influences your equanimity. Surrounding yourself with people who support and uplift you creates an environment conducive to emotional stability. Conversely, recognizing and limiting time with those who drain your energy helps protect your balance. Relationships rooted in respect and understanding nurture equanimity. Physical health impacts emotional balance more than often realized. Regular exercise, nourishing food, and sufficient rest create a foundation for resilience and calm. When your body is cared for, your mind is better equipped to handle stress and maintain perspective. This holistic approach reinforces your ability to stay grounded. Equanimity is not a static state, but a dynamic practice. Life will continually test your balance, presenting new challenges and emotions. Each test is an opportunity to strengthen your equanimity, refining your ability to stay calm and centered. Over time, this practice becomes a way of life, an unshakable inner calm that guides you through any storm. Through equanimity, you create a space where you can engage with life fully while remaining rooted in peace. This balance does not eliminate challenges, but transforms how you meet them. It empowers you to respond with wisdom, compassion, and clarity, making emotional balance not just a goal, but a way of being. Equanimity lays a foundation for navigating life's storms, but its true strength emerges in moments that demand self-control. When emotions rise like a tide threatening to overwhelm, the ability to pause becomes a superpower. Reacting impulsively can entangle you in conflicts and regrets, while responding with calm deliberation opens pathways to clarity and peace. The art of not reacting, deeply rooted in Buddhist wisdom, is not about suppressing emotions, but about mastering their flow. Controlling your emotions begins with awareness. Often, strong reactions stem from unacknowledged feelings that simmer beneath the surface. By developing a habit of self-observation, you learn to recognize emotional triggers early. This self-awareness is not about judging yourself, but understanding the root causes of your reactions. With each moment of acknowledgement, you create space to respond rather than be swept away by immediate impulses. The pause is a transformative tool in emotional mastery. When you feel the pull to react, stepping back, even for a few seconds, gives your mind time to recalibrate. This pause allows logic to temper emotion, preventing words or actions that might deepen conflicts. It is not avoidance, but a deliberate choice to act from a place of strength rather than vulnerability. Breathing techniques are a cornerstone of controlling emotions. Shallow, rapid breaths often accompany stress or anger, fueling their intensity. Slow, deep breaths, however, send calming signals to your nervous system. By focusing on your breath, you anchor yourself in the present, reducing the grip of overwhelming emotions. This practice creates a buffer between stimulus and reaction, allowing clarity to emerge. Mindfulness transforms how you experience emotions. By staying present, you notice emotions as they arise, without letting them dictate your behavior. Mindfulness teaches you to witness emotions as passing events, rather than permanent states. This detachment reduces their intensity, helping you maintain perspective and choose thoughtful responses. Understanding the impermanence of emotions further strengthens your ability to control them. Emotions, no matter how intense, are temporary. When you fully grasp this, you are less likely to act on fleeting feelings. Instead of reacting, you learn to sit with emotions, allowing them to rise and fall naturally. This patience brings a profound sense of freedom. Compassion, both for yourself and others, is a key element in mastering emotional control. When someone's actions trigger anger or frustration, it often stems from their own struggles. Recognizing this fosters empathy, softening your response. Similarly, being kind to yourself during emotional turbulence helps you navigate it without self-criticism, reinforcing inner stability. Perspective is another powerful tool. Emotional reactions often arise from a narrow focus on the immediate situation. Expanding your viewpoint helps you see challenges in context. What feels urgent or hurtful in the moment may lose its sting when viewed in the larger scope of life. This broader perspective diffuses emotional intensity, guiding you toward constructive responses. The practice of detachment is central to not reacting impulsively. Detachment does not mean indifference, but maintaining a healthy separation from the external forces that provoke you. By recognizing that you cannot control others' actions, only your response, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering. This shift in focus from external blame to internal mastery empowers you to act with wisdom. The stories you tell yourself about situations often fuel emotional reactions. For example, interpreting someone's comment as an insult rather than a neutral statement amplifies negative feelings. By questioning and reframing these narratives, you change your emotional experience. This self-inquiry is a subtle but powerful practice that reshapes how you interact with the world. Gratitude offers an unexpected yet profound way to control emotions. Shifting focus from what upsets you to what you appreciate reframes your mental state. Gratitude doesn't erase challenges, but provides a counterbalance, softening the impact of negative emotions. It creates a foundation of contentment that makes it harder for fleeting frustrations to take hold. Physical sensations often accompany strong emotions, acting as cues to your inner state. Tightness in the chest, a racing heart, or clenched fists are signs that your emotions are escalating. By tuning into these signals, you gain an early warning system, allowing you to intervene before reactions spiral. This body awareness bridges the gap between emotion and response. Emotional mastery also involves understanding the role of expectations. Unrealistic expectations often lead to disappointment and frustration. By aligning your expectations with reality, you reduce the gap between what is and what you wish it to be. This alignment fosters acceptance, reducing the emotional turmoil that arises from unmet desires. Non-attachment to outcomes is a practice that liberates you from reactive cycles. When your happiness depends on specific results, any deviation triggers emotional upheaval. Letting go of rigid expectations allows you to navigate life with greater ease. It enables you to invest effort without becoming entangled in the outcome, maintaining emotional balance regardless of the result. Regular reflection strengthens your ability to control emotions. Taking time to review your reactions, both effective and ineffective, provides valuable insights. Reflection is not about dwelling on mistakes, but learning from them. This self-awareness builds emotional intelligence, equipping you with tools to respond better in the future. Silence is an underrated yet transformative response. In moments of heightened emotion, choosing not to speak immediately prevents words that might escalate the situation. Silence is not passivity, but a deliberate act of self-restraint. It allows time for emotions to settle, creating space for thoughtful and constructive communication. Engaging in regular meditation deepens your ability to control emotions. Meditation trains your mind to stay centered, even amid chaos. It strengthens your ability to observe emotions without becoming entangled in them. Over time, this practice rewires your responses, replacing impulsivity with intentionality. The people around you influence your emotional state. Surrounding yourself with those who embody calm and wisdom reinforces your ability to remain composed. Their presence serves as a model and a source of support, reminding you of the power of steady responses. Conversely, limiting time with those who provoke negativity helps protect your balance. Resilience is a natural outcome of mastering emotional control. Life's challenges no longer throw you off course because you have built an inner foundation of calm. This resilience is not about suppressing emotions, but facing them with courage and clarity. It is the ability to remain steady in the face of uncertainty, trusting your capacity to navigate it. Joy is an often overlooked result of emotional mastery. By reducing impulsive reactions, you create more space for genuine connection and positive experiences. Emotional control allows you to approach life with openness and curiosity, enriching your interactions and deepening your sense of fulfillment. Each step toward mastering your emotions strengthens your overall well-being. It transforms how you relate to yourself, others, and the world. The art of not reacting is not about stifling your humanity, but refining it, allowing your true strength and wisdom to shine. Through this practice, you create a life guided not by fleeting emotions, but by thoughtful and deliberate action, rooted in peace and clarity. The ability to act with serenity is a profound strength in a world that thrives on urgency and reaction. Serenity is not passivity. It is the quiet yet unshakable power that lets you face any circumstance with clarity and intention. It is the ability to choose your path with grace, unaffected by external chaos or internal turbulence. In Buddhist teachings, serenity emerges as a natural result of understanding life's flow, accepting what is, and engaging with the world from a place of balance and purpose. Acting with serenity begins with cultivating a sense of inner stillness. This is not about silencing every thought, but learning to coexist with them without letting them dominate. A serene mind does not banish emotions or ideas, but observes them like clouds passing through the sky. This detachment allows you to remain composed, even when external pressures mount. It is the foundation for deliberate, thoughtful action. Understanding the nature of impermanence is key to serenity. When you recognize that all things, joys, sorrows, achievements and failures, are transient, you release the grip of attachment. This release does not make you indifferent. Instead, it makes you adaptable. You flow with life's changes, finding stability in the understanding that nothing lasts forever. This perspective reduces fear and anxiety, allowing you to act calmly even in the face of uncertainty. Clarity of purpose strengthens serenity. When your actions are aligned with your values and intentions, external distractions lose their power over you. Acting with serenity means focusing on what truly matters and letting go of what does not. This focus simplifies your decisions, making each step purposeful and free from unnecessary worry or hesitation. Acceptance is a powerful driver of serenity. Resisting reality often leads to inner turmoil, while accepting things as they are creates a sense of peace. Acceptance does not mean passivity. It means starting from a place of clarity. When you accept the present moment, you can engage with it effectively, using your energy to create meaningful change, rather than battling what cannot be altered. Patience is deeply intertwined with serenity. Rushing through life often creates mistakes and tension. By embracing patience, you allow life to unfold at its own pace, trusting that outcomes will arrive when the time is right. This trust does not absolve you of effort, but aligns your actions with a deeper rhythm, reducing frustration and fostering calm. Gratitude nurtures serenity by shifting your focus from what is lacking to what is abundant. When you appreciate the small joys and lessons in life, you create a mental state that is less reactive and more reflective. Gratitude anchors you in the present, making it easier to respond to challenges with grace and composure. Compassion enhances serenity by softening your interactions with others. When you act from a place of understanding and empathy, conflicts lose their sharp edges. Compassion does not mean tolerating harm, but engaging with others in a way that seeks harmony and resolution. This approach reduces the emotional toll of difficult situations, allowing you to act with kindness and confidence. Mindfulness is an essential practice for serenity. Staying present in each moment prevents your mind from wandering to past regrets or future anxieties. Mindfulness grounds you in the now, where your power to act resides. It trains your mind to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, creating a foundation for serenity in action. Non-attachment to outcomes is a liberating aspect of serenity. When your actions are not tied to specific results, you are free to focus on the process itself. This freedom reduces stress and allows you to fully engage with what you're doing. Non-attachment does not mean apathy. It means trusting that your efforts, rooted in sincerity, are enough. Silence is a profound tool for cultivating serenity. In moments of conflict or confusion, choosing silence over immediate reaction creates space for reflection. This pause allows emotions to settle and clarity to emerge. Silence is not weakness. It is a deliberate choice to act with wisdom rather than impulse. Resilience is a natural outcome of serenity. When you approach life with calm determination, setbacks become opportunities for growth rather than sources of despair. Serenity helps you adapt and persevere, using each challenge to strengthen your resolve and deepen your understanding. This resilience enables you to move forward with confidence, no matter what arises. Simplicity supports serenity by removing unnecessary distractions and complications. A cluttered life often leads to a cluttered mind. By simplifying your commitments, environment, and thoughts, you create space for clarity and calm. Simplicity is not about deprivation, but about focusing on what truly enriches your life. Perspective plays a crucial role in acting with serenity. When faced with difficulties, broadening your viewpoint helps you see beyond the immediate challenge. This perspective reminds you of the bigger picture, reducing the emotional weight of the moment. It enables you to act from a place of understanding rather than urgency. Kindness toward yourself is essential for maintaining serenity. Self-criticism often disrupts your inner peace, making it harder to act with clarity. By treating yourself with the same compassion you offer others, you create a supportive internal environment. This kindness fosters confidence and steadiness, empowering you to navigate life with grace. Purposeful rest rejuvenates serenity. Constant busyness depletes your ability to remain calm and focused. Taking time to rest and recharge is not indulgent but necessary. Rest allows your mind to process and your body to recover, enhancing your capacity to act with intention and serenity. Equanimity, the balance of mind and emotion, underpins serenity. This balance helps you engage with life fully while remaining centered. Equanimity is not about suppressing feelings, but integrating them into a state of inner harmony. It allows you to navigate life's highs and lows without losing your footing, fostering a steady and composed approach to every situation. The practice of meditation deepens serenity. Meditation trains your mind to find stillness amid chaos, strengthening your ability to act from a place of calm. It teaches you to observe your thoughts without becoming entangled in them, creating a foundation for serenity that extends beyond the meditation cushion into daily life. Surrounding yourself with peaceful influences reinforces serenity. The people and environments you engage with shape your state of mind. Choosing companions who embody calm and wisdom supports your own practice of serenity. Likewise, creating a space that reflects tranquility enhances your ability to maintain emotional balance. Serenity is not an escape from life, but a deeper engagement with it. It empowers you to face challenges with courage, to act with purpose, and to connect with others authentically. Each moment of serenity strengthens your ability to respond to life's demands with grace, transforming not only your actions, but your entire experience of living. Through serenity, you discover the profound power of calm, clarity, and compassion, creating a life of intentional and meaningful action. Serenity is not just a state of being, it is a way of navigating the challenges of life. Yet, serenity alone is not enough. To become invincible in any situation, wisdom must guide your steps, and resilience must become your nature. The wisdom of Buddhist teachings offers a transformative path, not by avoiding difficulty, but by meeting it with strength, clarity, and unwavering calm. Invincibility begins with understanding the mind. The mind can either be your most powerful ally or your greatest obstacle. In moments of difficulty, fear, and doubt, the mind often amplifies problems by clinging to worst-case scenarios. One teaching emphasizes that by mastering your thoughts, you master your experience. This mastery does not mean controlling every thought, but learning to observe them without attachment. When you recognize thoughts for what they are, fleeting, impermanent, and shaped by perception, you free yourself from their grip and gain clarity. Compassion is another cornerstone of invincibility. While compassion is often thought of as a gift you give to others, it is equally a gift to yourself. Responding to hardship with kindness, whether toward yourself or those who oppose you, shields you from the corrosive effects of anger and resentment. Compassion does not mean tolerating harm. It means choosing to approach all situations with understanding rather than hostility. This approach disarms conflicts and opens pathways to peace, even in adversity. A deep appreciation of impermanence fortifies your resilience, Life's difficulties, no matter how overwhelming they feel, are not eternal. This truth offers a profound sense of hope. Each struggle is part of a greater flow, constantly shifting and evolving. By embracing impermanence, you learn not to resist change, but to move with it, transforming challenges into opportunities for growth and renewal. Equanimity lies at the heart of invincibility. It is the ability to remain balanced and composed, regardless of external circumstances. Equanimity arises from a deep trust in life's unfolding, a belief that every moment, whether joyous or painful, has its purpose. This trust frees you from the need to control everything, allowing you to act with wisdom and steadiness even in the face of chaos. Letting go of the need for validation is an essential teaching for strength. Often the fear of failure or judgment from others creates internal resistance to taking decisive action. By shifting your focus inward, aligning your actions with your values rather than external approval, you cultivate a deep sense of freedom. This internal alignment enables you to make choices with clarity and confidence, immune to criticism or praise. Patience is a transformative practice that amplifies your inner strength. Challenges often demand endurance, not immediate solutions. Patience teaches you to stay present through discomfort, trusting that time will reveal the right course of action. This calm persistence allows you to approach difficulties methodically rather than reactively, reducing the emotional toll and improving your ability to navigate complexity. Mindfulness sharpens your ability to respond wisely to any situation. By being fully present, you notice details others may overlook, recognize emotions before they escalate, and act with precision rather than haste. Mindfulness is not simply awareness, but an engaged presence that allows you to adapt to shifting circumstances without losing focus or energy. Non-attachment to outcomes provides a shield against disappointment and regret. When your efforts are sincere and grounded in principle, the results become secondary. This perspective allows you to act with full commitment while remaining free from anxiety over success or failure. It is not apathy, but a deep trust in the process, enabling you to maintain peace even when outcomes deviate from expectations. Simplicity strengthens resilience by removing unnecessary distractions. In challenging situations, complexity often amplifies stress. By focusing on what is essential and letting go of extraneous concerns, you free your energy for what truly matters. Simplicity clarifies your priorities, allowing you to act decisively and effectively. Self-awareness is an often overlooked source of invincibility. Understanding your strengths and vulnerabilities enables you to navigate challenges with greater skill. This awareness fosters humility, ensuring that you approach situations with openness to learning rather than rigid certainty. It also enhances your ability to collaborate and seek support when needed, turning potential weaknesses into opportunities for growth. Gratitude transforms your mindset in the face of adversity. When difficulties arise, gratitude shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is present. This practice grounds you in the abundance of the moment, reducing feelings of frustration and helplessness. Gratitude is not about ignoring hardship, but finding strength in recognizing the resources and lessons it brings. Silence can be one of the most powerful responses in challenging situations. When tensions run high, stepping back and choosing not to react immediately creates space for reflection. Silence is not a retreat, but a tool for clarity, allowing you to observe dynamics without being drawn into them. This practice often reveals solutions that haste obscures. commitment to continuous learning ensures that every challenge becomes a stepping stone to greater strength. Buddhist teachings emphasize the importance of seeing every experience, even failure, as an opportunity for growth. This mindset keeps you adaptable, open, and ready to face new difficulties with enhanced understanding and capability. Detachment from ego reduces vulnerability to conflict and criticism. When your sense of self-worth is not tied to being right or winning arguments, you become less reactive and more strategic. This detachment fosters humility and flexibility, qualities that make you more resilient and effective in any situation. Trust in the interconnectedness of all things provides profound support in moments of difficulty. Understanding that no action exists in isolation reminds you of the broader impact of your choices. This awareness encourages thoughtful and compassionate actions, reinforcing your sense of purpose and connection to the greater whole. These teachings are not merely tools for enduring hardship, they are pathways to thriving in any situation. They transform challenges into opportunities, conflicts into lessons, and adversity into growth. By embodying these principles, you cultivate a strength that is both gentle and unyielding, allowing you to move through life with grace, courage, and invincibility. Happiness, true and unshakable, often feels like a distant goal in the face of life's complexities. Yet, the teachings of Buddhism reveal that happiness is not something to be found, it is something to be cultivated. It arises not from controlling the world around you, but from transforming your inner world. By embracing these principles, you unlock a profound ability to remain joyful and content, no matter what life places in your path. The first step to finding happiness in any situation is to shift focus inward. When external circumstances dictate emotions, you become a prisoner of events beyond your control. Buddhist teachings emphasize that the source of joy lies within the mind itself. By training your thoughts to rest on gratitude, compassion, and acceptance, you take the first steps toward an enduring sense of happiness that external chaos cannot shake. Letting go of attachments is essential for maintaining happiness. Attachments, whether to people, possessions, or outcomes, often create suffering when they change or are lost. Buddhist wisdom teaches that nothing is permanent, and clinging only deepens pain. By releasing attachment, you experience freedom and discover a joy that is not bound to anything external, but rooted in the flow of life itself. Compassion is a powerful force for happiness. When you focus on the well-being of others, your perspective shifts from self-centered concerns to a broader connection with humanity. Compassion dissolves feelings of isolation and fosters a deep sense of purpose. It is not merely about helping others, but recognizing that their happiness is intertwined with your own. Through acts of kindness, you build bridges of joy that uplift both yourself and those around you. Acceptance is a cornerstone of lasting happiness. Resisting what cannot be changed often leads to frustration and discontent. Acceptance, however, creates space for peace. This does not mean resignation, but a willingness to see things as they are and respond with clarity. By practicing acceptance, you transform challenges into opportunities for growth and find contentment even in difficulty. Patience nurtures happiness by helping you navigate the natural rhythms of life. Many sources of unhappiness stem from the desire for instant results or the inability to wait for outcomes to unfold. Patience teaches you to trust the process and embrace the journey, allowing you to find joy in each moment rather than fixating solely on the destination. Mindfulness is a transformative practice for cultivating happiness. By fully engaging with the present moment, you release anxieties about the past and future. Mindfulness sharpens your awareness of life's simple joys: a cool breeze, a kind word, or the beauty of nature. These small moments, when noticed and appreciated, form the foundation of a deeply satisfying life. Non-judgment is another essential element of happiness. Judging yourself, others, or situations creates unnecessary tension and divides your mind. Non-judgment allows you to approach life with openness and curiosity, freeing you from the weight of preconceived ideas. This freedom enhances your ability to experience each moment fully and joyfully. Gratitude amplifies happiness by shifting your focus from what is missing to what is present. By recognizing the abundance in your life, whether in relationships, opportunities, or simple pleasures, you anchor yourself in appreciation. Gratitude is a practice that grows stronger with attention, transforming ordinary experiences into sources of extraordinary joy. Resilience in the face of change strengthens your ability to maintain happiness. Life is unpredictable, and challenges are inevitable. Buddhist teachings highlight that happiness is not the absence of difficulty, but the ability to face it with courage and grace. Resilience arises from inner strength, cultivated through reflection, meditation, and the willingness to adapt. Simplicity clears the path to happiness by removing unnecessary distractions. In the pursuit of more, it is easy to overlook what truly brings joy. Simplicity encourages you to focus on what is meaningful, letting go of excess to make room for connection, peace, and fulfillment. Trust in life's unfolding brings profound happiness. Often, dissatisfaction arises from trying to control every aspect of life. By surrendering to the natural flow of events and trusting that life holds wisdom beyond your understanding, you release stress and open yourself to unexpected joys. Forgiveness frees the heart and mind, making room for happiness. Holding on to resentment or regret creates emotional weight that blocks joy. Forgiveness does not excuse harm, but acknowledges that clinging to anger only perpetuates pain. By letting go of grievances, you liberate yourself and create space for peace and happiness to flourish. Balance is the practice of harmonizing different aspects of your life. Extremes often lead to burnout or dissatisfaction, but balance allows you to experience stability and joy. Whether in work, relationships, or self-care, maintaining equilibrium fosters sustained happiness and reduces the chaos that disrupts inner peace. Clarity of purpose brings lasting happiness by aligning your actions with your values. When you live with intention and direction, you feel a deep sense of fulfillment that transcends fleeting pleasures. This clarity helps you prioritize what truly matters and lets go of distractions that do not serve your journey. Community enriches happiness by providing connection and support. Sharing life with others, whether through family, friendships, or spiritual groups, creates bonds that sustain you through highs and lows. Community reminds you that happiness is magnified when shared, creating a ripple effect that touches countless lives. Perspective is a powerful tool for happiness. When difficulties arise, how you view them determines their impact. Shifting your perspective from a place of scarcity to one of opportunity transforms obstacles into lessons and fosters resilience. Perspective also reminds you of the bigger picture, helping you stay grounded and focused on what truly matters. Happiness is not a distant goal to be chased, but a practice to be cultivated daily. By embracing these teachings, you create a foundation of joy that withstands life's challenges. Each principle, whether it is mindfulness, compassion, or gratitude, offers a unique path to finding contentment in any situation. Together, they form a harmonious way of living that invites lasting peace and happiness into your life. Peace is not the absence of chaos, but the ability to remain calm amidst it. True mental peace arises when the mind becomes a sanctuary, unshaken by external storms and unburdened by inner turmoil. The teachings of Buddhism offer profound insights into cultivating this serenity, showing the way to a mind that is both calm and unyielding. Each teaching is a step toward unlocking a state of tranquility that no external force can disrupt. The first key to mental peace is understanding the nature of suffering. Buddhism teaches that much of the distress we experience stems not from external circumstances, but from the mind's reaction to them. When you realize that suffering is often rooted in craving, attachment, or resistance, you begin to see the path to freedom. By letting go of these mental habits, you open the door to a peace that arises naturally, unclouded by unnecessary tension. Another essential teaching is mindfulness, which anchors you firmly in the present moment. Often the mind is pulled between past regrets and future anxieties, creating a relentless cycle of worry. Mindfulness dissolves this cycle by bringing full attention to the here and now. Through focused awareness, you learn to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, cultivating clarity and calm in every situation. Compassion plays a transformative role in achieving mental peace. While anger and resentment can feel justified, they poison the mind, disrupting its balance. Compassion, on the other hand, softens the heart and quiets the mind. By choosing to approach others with kindness, even when faced with hostility, you protect your inner peace from the corrosive effects of negativity. Acceptance is a powerful practice for sustaining mental calm. Resistance to reality often leads to frustration and agitation. Acceptance does not mean passivity, but rather a willingness to face life as it is. When you stop fighting against the inevitable, you conserve energy and cultivate a sense of inner equilibrium that allows you to address challenges more effectively. Equanimity is the art of remaining steady regardless of circumstances. This teaching emphasizes the impermanence of all things, joys and sorrows, successes and failures. By embracing this impermanence, you find a stable center within yourself, untouched by external fluctuations. Equanimity allows you to engage with life fully, without becoming overwhelmed by its highs and lows. Detachment from outcomes is a profound source of mental peace. Often, the mind becomes entangled in expectations, leading to disappointment when reality does not align. Detachment is not about giving up on goals, but about releasing the need for specific results. This freedom enables you to act with intention while remaining open to whatever unfolds. Gratitude shifts the focus of the mind from scarcity to abundance. When the mind dwells on what is lacking, it creates a sense of dissatisfaction. Gratitude redirects attention to the blessings already present, fostering a sense of contentment and reducing the restless pursuit of more. This simple shift in perspective can bring profound peace to the mind. Patience is a vital teaching for navigating the complexities of life. Impatience arises when the mind demands immediate solutions or becomes fixated on progress. Patience teaches you to trust the unfolding of events, allowing you to approach difficulties with calm and persistence. It creates space for wisdom to emerge, guiding you to act thoughtfully rather than react hastily. Non-judgment frees the mind from unnecessary strain. Judgment often arises from comparison or a desire to categorize experiences as good or bad. This constant evaluation creates tension and narrows perception. Non-judgment allows you to see things as they are without attaching labels, fostering openness and reducing mental conflict. Silence offers the mind a refuge from the noise of the world. In silence, the mind can rest and reflect, finding clarity and perspective. This teaching encourages moments of stillness in daily life, where the constant flow of thoughts can settle. Silence is not merely the absence of sound, but a state of inner quiet where peace can flourish. Resilience is the ability to remain grounded when faced with adversity. It stems from a deep understanding that challenges are temporary and often contain hidden lessons. Resilience is cultivated through self-awareness and self-compassion, allowing you to recover quickly from setbacks without losing your center. Harmony between thoughts and actions is another pathway to mental peace. When actions align with values, the mind is free from inner conflict. Disharmony, on the other hand, creates guilt and unease. By living in accordance with your principles, you create a seamless flow between intention and behavior, fostering a profound sense of peace. Trust in life's unfolding allows the mind to relax its grip on control. Control is an illusion that creates tension when life inevitably takes unexpected turns. Trusting that life has its own rhythm and wisdom liberates the mind from constant planning and worry, enabling you to meet each moment with openness and peace. Forgiveness liberates the mind from the burden of anger and resentment. Holding on to grudges consumes mental energy and creates emotional heaviness. Forgiveness is not about condoning harm, but about freeing yourself from its grip. By releasing anger, you make room for peace to enter. Simplicity clears the mental clutter that often distracts from peace. A complicated life filled with unnecessary commitments and possessions creates stress. Simplicity reduces these distractions, allowing the mind to focus on what truly matters. This clarity brings a deep sense of ease and contentment. Perspective helps the mind maintain balance. When challenges arise, perspective reminds you of the broader context. What feels overwhelming in the moment often diminishes when viewed from a distance. This teaching encourages a long-term view, helping you navigate difficulties with grace and calm. The teachings of Buddhism offer not just a path to mental peace, but a complete transformation of the way the mind engages with the world. Each principle, whether mindfulness, compassion, or trust, provides a unique tool for creating a sanctuary within. Through consistent practice, these teachings cultivate a mind that is steady, resilient, and deeply at peace, regardless of external circumstances. In the vast journey of life, the teachings of Buddhism remind us that the most profound transformations begin within. Focusing on your own path, embracing peace, self-reliance, mindfulness, and resilience leads to a freedom no external circumstance can touch. Each teaching explored reveals a key to unlocking inner balance and creating a life filled with meaning, joy, and unshakable strength. Let go of what weighs you down and take small, intentional steps toward the life you deserve. It's not about perfection, but about presence. Your growth, your happiness, and your peace begin with the choices you make today. If this journey resonated with you, share your thoughts below. What lesson spoke to you the most? What will you carry forward? Leave a comment. I'd love to hear your reflections. Let's continue the conversation and inspire each other to grow. If this content brought value to your life, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to stay connected with future wisdom. Together, let's keep exploring and building lives of purpose and peace. See you in the next one.